Okay. Alright. We are live. Let's see if I picked up the right microphone on first try, or do I have to change it? Okay. Alright. Yeah, it sounds like it did. How's everybody doing? How are we doing today? Just got done with lunch. Gave the Hazel Basil something to focus on, and we're doing stuff. Why do I have a notification? What's it about? Oh, okay. It's McRightface being a silly MacGuffin. We are live. Just posting the thing. Okay. Stream boop. Stream boop. So today we're doing that thing we do from time to time. It's Murphalurf's original idea that we have taken up the mantle of to help people learn land battles in these crazy times. So we host a lobby, have two people join it, and then we comment on their builds and what they did right and wrong and all that stuff, and the goals of trying to help people get better at the video games. Anywhere else I should be posting this? Heir of Carthage's server, probably. Okay. That's fine for now. What up, Killer Lion, who's currently in the lobby right now? Where the frick? There it is. Okay. So I'm done promoting this everywhere. If you want to join, you can go into build lobby list under the Under Empire. I have a pinned messages of the people who are currently signed up to play. 3, Killer Lion, Sir Groot and Zep, Shogunuk and Matthew. Though Zep and Matthew both said later in the stream, so I don't know if they're not available right now. We will see. So if you feel like playing, hop in there. Otherwise, we can give people multiple games. That's also fine with me. I just know the last couple times I've done this, a lot of people wanted to play, and we never got through the whole list. So this time we were just cutting it down to one game per person so that we could get through the list. But if the list is short, then we can do more. Yada yada. At Zep and Sir Groot, you ready to go next, BTW, or Zep need time? We'll see what they say to that. But yeah, anybody can sign up, whatever. It's pretty chill. Yo, Mr. Rightface. Lobby name is pretty based, if I don't say myself. It was pretty good. It was pretty good 3. I liked it. Don't you have cool custom emojis? In YouTube, I don't know how to do that. Your Killer Lion, your Wi-Fi just crashed. No. Okay, you're changing your thing, so it looks like you're maybe okay. Maybe. I don't know. You won't get to be a CA affiliate until you have cool custom emojis. I don't know how to do cool custom emojis. I don't know. Sorry, I'm typing someone to someone. Sorry. Tretch had a question. Feral cold ones. Okay. And red crested armor piercing is good. Very good. Okay. Almost done. All right, I'm here. I'm here. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. I'm around. What up, platypus? How you doing? Daniel's here. How you doing? How you doing? Yikes, you look menacing. Why? Who's scrapping right now? Killer Lion in 3. 3 is playing Cathay. Killer Lion is playing Norsca. Any are other wind farming planned perchance? Daniel, but you've been watching a lot of Platy? I'd try looking up a tutorial on some kind of video database. Gonna pause stream for lag while we watch after I get done embarrassing myself. You're gonna do great. Alright. Looks like we're fine. These people will be setting up their builds momentarily. I messed up. You had like 2K in the bank. What? Killer Lion! Well, then you should probably concede. Sir. You should probably concede and spend your money. Otherwise, you're mega doomed. Looking forward to it. Good luck. Yeah. Platy is a very good Dom player. He's quite good at that. I think we'll be backing out in a second. Yeah, because Killer Lion forgot to spend about 2K funds, which is pretty significant. Alright. Could have a Frosty Boy with that cash. It's true. Alright. Sorry, dealing with some stuff. Some things, some stuff. So what will he spend these 2.6K funds on, I wonder? Looks like builds are changing slightly, so I'll throw the blocker up while they figure that out. And then I'll check back in on chat. Cool Umbrella, love me some Norse. Yeah, they've been pretty fun after the changes. They're actually decent. Where did you get that? That's enough of that, little lady. That's enough of that. That's enough. Hazel was chewing on her bone, and she had like a little shard of bone that I don't want her swallowing and choking on, so I had to take it away. Alright. Playing, yes, forward to, could have a Frosty Boy be in the same situation effectively, as he's not having spent it at all. Yeah, Frostworm isn't great. Later tonight we'll have a stream, I think with some Frostworm in it. I did propose a bingo challenge to my community on Discord. Gave them an image of a bingo board with a whole bunch of stuff we rarely ever get to see. And I said, get me replays with these things winning. And then when we get a bingo, we'll stop collecting replays and stream them. And I think we'll do that later tonight. So we'll have some fun replays of Steam Tanks and Black Lions and Charybdis and what else? Hyro Titans. Yeah. Dreadsorians. All of the forgotten and unloved units getting some love. Now, to keep playing here, Hearts of Iron 4 or to try and get into a Warhammer 3 game. Army Guy, that is the ultimate question. Replay bingo was cool? Yeah. I must find it obnoxious that people only play 7 factions or so at the highest level. I understand, but don't like it. Yeah.
Hi, Hater Breton.
At least Coops doesn't get his replay shadow banned. True. What up, Mossy? How you doing? And Hazel is just here. She is very excited that today is a day.
Hi.
Are you having a good day? Are you not going to let Dad do his replays because you don't like Dad having a job? Because you don't like Dad trying to grow a community? Huh? Is that what this is about? All right. BBA just dropped. What's BBA? Help us woefully uninformed masses. Okay. All right. Just listening at work. Well, I hope you're having a good day at work. I just got back from work. There's some air memes to do. By Blood Alone, the new DLC. Oh. Oh. Big, beautiful SR. All right. The full build of Killer Lion is here. We have some Norscan Warhounds, some armored skin wolves. Looks like 2 of them. Marauder Spearmen mixed with a shitload of Marauder Champions. We have 2 Javelin Throwers, Throg the Troll King, with all of his stuff, including Copious Vomit, which actually isn't that bad these days. Yeah, he actually casts it, which is nice. Warhammer 2, he had a habit of not casting it at all. So you have Searing Doom, Scroll of Power, and Scroll of Shielding. I usually don't take the scrolls personally. Oh, and Plague Frost, that's pretty huge. I find I don't remember to use the scrolls very well, so I tend not to take them personally. Other than that, the build is fine. I would like to see some chariots here. Some basic chariots, because Cathay is pretty bad at dealing with them, and you can muck up all their ranged assets and really get in and out of their box. And these 2 spells are good. I might take Final Transmutation just because of the normal Cathay boxy nature, but these are also excellent spells, so no real gripe there. I think the only actual gripe I have is not having the chariots. And unironically, trolls can actually be alright. Armor-piercing monstrous infantry that can get through the front line. Even if the front line's still alive, they can just path through it and muck up some of the ranged assets can be pretty good. But Cathay Peasant Long Spears are a hell of a drug, so trolls might just get slapped down. So chariots might be the better answer. But this is a pretty honest Norsca build. It's like, we're going to duel you. If we beat your front line, we'll beat your back line. If we don't beat your front line in time, we'll die. And it's like, oh, well, versus Cathay, that's not usually the best way to go. You kind of need something to disrupt the back line. For Cathay, we have Peasant Long Spearmen and Jade Warriors box. This is generally how Cathay likes to play. Because of all their harmony buffs that heavily incentivize them to clump up. When people... I made a video about how Jade Warriors are better than Longbeards, and they were like, well, they had Miao Ying nearby for the harmony buff, and they had ranged units to give them more stats, so it's not really a fair test. Like, when is this ever going to happen? And I'm like, every fucking game. They're so heavily incentivized to box. Why would you not box? Anyway, yeah, so it is going to be tough to kill these guys in melee. Those Searing Dooms will have to be pretty on point from Killer Lion. Jaywar Crossman, we do have 1 Fire and Rocket, 1 Grand Cannon. We have the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin and Miao Ying the Storm Dragon with Earthblood, Storm of Shadows, and Talons of Night. No Cav at all. I mean, we have 1 Flying Cav, but no Ground Cav at all. So the Skin Wolves are free to do as they please. Norsca will have to be careful, setting up a good surround before just overcommitting and dying. I'd like if I said I hadn't looked that up from time to time, I'd be lying. Well, Scroll of Shooting is money, not sure about the Scroll of Power. Scroll of Shielding is not a scroll, it's not money, you can't fool me. Fucking Doom Sage. You can tell 3 ready when he is. Alright, seems like they figured that out without me. The box is a bit too tight. Yeah, it is pretty tight, but they don't want to leave any room for Norsca to really get through. And they are organized in a good way that any wind spells won't hit more than like 2 units, which is fine. Would a Flamestorm be worth taking versus Cathay? It can be, but Flamestorm got nerfed. Its armor piercing isn't what it used to be. I think piercing, if you're going to take Lore of Fire, piercing bolts of burning is the way to go instead of Flamestorm. Flamestorm can actually still do alright though. Yeah. I think it's a fine choice. Burning Head versus Cathay also isn't bad, but you have to aim it at the peasants, not the Jade Warriors. Jade Warriors with 3248 melee stats, the Marauder Champions with 3653. So this unit costs half of this one, and it has higher armor. Leadership, but I think that's partially because we're getting shot by cannons right now. And then only slightly lesser melee stats than, you know, 1,000 gold unit. Fucking Jade Warriors. Norsca's taking a lot of punishment on the advance, as they do, and the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are going to go fight some Norscan Warhounds. I honestly like this from Killer Lion. Just abandon that one to its fate. Piling the other ones on aren't going to do anything, unfortunately. Talons of Night is going to catch 2 units, it looks like. Yes, but an overcasted Searing Doom is going to retaliate and hit 4 units. Not doing that much damage to any of them, though, unfortunately. Norsca has gotten some Skin Wolves behind. They're going to have to charge in pretty soon, though there are Peasant Longspears back here waiting for them. Throg is currently getting shot by cannons, but thankfully for him, he hits the deck due to weird animations. He can actually get knocked over, which in the end helps him, which is something. Righteous Lances got done with 1 dog. They're on to the second. These dogs are running away, so hopefully they will be able to get some distance. Armored Skin Wolves are trying to get involved, though there is charge defense and charge reflection. So these Peasant Longspears are actually going to perform very, very well into the Armored Skin Wolves, I would think, considering their cost differences. Dogs are trying to slip in, and they are getting in if just properly microed. If they get more attack orders on the Fire and Rocket, they will actually run inside. We have another overcasted Searing Doom that's doing some damage back here, but not as much as I would like. Searing Doom is nice when undercasted for its cost, but overcasted it just scatters too much. It doesn't actually do the real damage you need it to. Cathay is taking a monstrous damage value lead. Their box is not crumbling in any form whatsoever. Marauder Champions are just straight up losing while getting shot at, and Jade Warriors are crazy. Yeah. Skin Wolves are losing on the back line of these Peasant Longspears. That one's less surprising because Peasant Longspears are spear units, but yeah, Jade Warriors in general doing fucking Jade Warrior things. This is why most people hate Cathay. This is why most people despise Cathay with a burning passion. And I would agree. That's a 500 gold unit, by the way. What did he do for value? 150. Okay, at least he's not like killing them on his own, but they do hold forever. Another overcasted Searing Doom is going to hit 3 units. It just doesn't do that much damage, unfortunately. I think that's going to be it. Jabs into Cathay is not a good choice. You could need it for Longmas or balloons, Rusty. That's the hard part, is you gotta remember that balloon cheese exists, right? So if you don't have any javelins, like, and they have a sky junk or a war balloon, what are you gonna do? So it's tough. You need something. Cathay needs a nerf, they really do. Ice Trolls stacked with Marauder Great Weapons might work to crack the box with Searing Doom and Plague of Rust, then send in the dogs. Maybe, but it feels like you're paying a lot of money at that point. And Trolls aren't generally considered to be great. I think, like, I don't know. Chariot's probably the way to go. Just do some backline muckage. GG indeed. GG indeed. Okay. So Zep is not around. Okay. Zep has departed. So I'm looking for next people. But for now, Killer Lion and 3 can play another one if they want. While I figure that out. I feel Cathay is usually cracked with summons and or chariots. Yeah. New to playing versus VC a lot. Swordmaster spam with Imric and his horn plus Light Wizard and Time Warp. Doomsage, I haven't seen that work. The elves just tend to get ground out. Because while you can kill the Jade Warriors, the problem is you just killed like 400 or 500 gold units and you spent 5,000 gold to do it. And then they still have more. Wulfric's Boat? I don't think Wulfric's Boat does very well. But I've been underwhelmed by it for a while now. The main faction, I prefer VC to Cathay. I also prefer VC to Cathay. I think VC is annoying, but I don't think they're as OP as Cathay is. I don't know. I have some factions and some builds that still are pretty hard for VC to beat. Look, you, quit your naysaying. Elves are perfect. Elves are perfect. Just not Swordmaster elves. I've enjoyed pulling the Cathay box apart as Tzeentch. That is an interesting matchup. Yeah. That's an even matchup from game 3. I think you do go Wulfric, to be honest, with Pitcast. Buckle frontline and push through. I don't know the Norsca matchup too well. I was just saying in general, Norsca's boat, Wulfric's boat, has been a little underwhelming for me recently. So I was just talking to Tzeentch about a build I like specifically. But I have actually been having good success with certain factions. Sorry, I'm getting messages right now about this event, so I should pay attention. Map is Summer Song. Okay. Anyway, yeah, things I've found to deal with Cathay is remembering what... Because I used to be a Cathay main before all the buffs, right? So I remembered what I hated as Cathay was getting artillery kited by ogres and double stone horns from ogres. Those were 2 things that I really couldn't deal with at all. Plus spawn rushes from a lot of factions were annoying. They were manageable, but they were annoying. So then taking that information, I have a couple factions I actually do like versus Cathay nowadays, and I have a winning record on versus Cathay. Now, I'm not sure if they're good matchups yet. I've still been working on them, but it is important to remember that, yes, while Cathay's front line, the Jade Warriors, are overtuned for 100%, what can't Jade Warriors do? And I don't want to give away all my builds just yet. Like, there are certain builds that I've gotten good success with that I've used for a while, and then I'll talk about pretty openly because I already got success out of them. But these are new, and I still haven't gotten as much out of them as I wanted to before going public. But I would say that, like, when you're crafting kill stuff versus Cathay, what doesn't give a shit about Jade Warriors? Right? So for Norsca, we were talking about it. I'm like, chariots. Chariots aren't going to kill the Jade Warriors, but they can get through them and keep doing other stuff. Feral Manticores could go over the Jade Warriors and get to the important stuff. Because the Jade Warrior we saw at the end of the game had 150 value, but the Marauder Champion in front of him was worth 1,000 and it died. Well, it died from other shit. The Jade Warrior just wouldn't... You couldn't kill the Jade Warrior, but the Jade Warrior wasn't going to kill you either. So it's all about getting through. Honestly, like, I wonder how a Frostworm would do in that matchup. Probably still not good, but breath attacks plus mass. So, something to think about. Alrighty, Beastmen versus Dwarves. 3 went from Cathay to Cathay with beards. And what do we have for the build so far? 4 Quarrelers, Longbeards, 2 minus of blasting charges, and then what was that ROR? Where's the Dragonfire Pass and Slayers? We do have Thoric Ironbrow, Thane, and we have 1 bolt thrower and 2 cannons. We saw a similar build like this before from the Dwarves. I think, but last time 3 was on stream. Maybe versus Killer Lion, honestly. For Killer Lion, we have 2 Tuskor Chariots. We have Torox, the Brass Bull, Minotaurs, Great Weapons, the Bloodbrute Behemoth versus Dwarves. Very interesting. I will think about that in a second. Razorgore Herds. Razorgore Herds looks like only 2 of them. 2 Ungor Raiders and a bunch of Ungor Herds as a front line. Dwarf build's fine. I don't really have any problems with it. Yeah. Thoric's good choice. They're going to box. Miners with blasting charges are facing some interesting directions. They probably want to be facing forwards, but yeah, that is what it is. Box is a little small. So what's going to happen here is if Chariots or the Bloodbrute Behemoth or something gets inside, they're going to be able to muck up like 2 or 3 things at a time, whereas if they're more spread out, it's harder to muck things up. So I think the formation is a little too tight. Build's fine. Formation's too tight. Maybe more Slayers? Maybe. If you can find the money for more Slayers. Slayers always pay for themselves in this matchup. For the Beastmen side, I'm nervous about Bloodbrute Boy. Not super sold on him. He has anti-large, which the Dwarves don't have a lot of large for you to target. Arm piercing is good. Healing is good. His leadership's fine, but he is quite expensive. The rest of the build is pretty great. I like it. Minotaurs are interesting, but they're kind of making a comeback these days. I don't know if they need the great weapons, because basic Minotaurs have armor piercing too, don't they? So the great weapons is just the anti-large version. Regardless, not the point. Minotaurs are making a comeback. They do a lot of charge damage, and like we just talked about versus Cathay, they can path through the front line if given a charge order and then a follow-up movement order, and you can muck up the back line. Bloodbrute can do similarly, which is why I'm nervous about him, but I don't hate him. I'm like, this could work. I'm nervous about it, but it could work. More Razorgores would be my only note. If you could find the money somewhere for more Razorgores, because these guys are just absolute MVPs versus Dwarves. We have a caster. What does he do? Pit of Shades caster. Good choice. Good spell. 100% armor piercing. Very nice. The only thing I would maybe suggest is looking into the lore of Wilds. There is that Bray Scream spell that's super cheap and still 100% armor piercing. Like that one a lot. But Pit of Shades is also fantastic. No Harpies? I haven't noticed Harpies doing that well. And they're there just for Gyro Cheese, which, even if they get Gyro Cheese, they still get shot down by Quarrelers. And I think Gyrocopters outrun them. So, I don't know. I have never been a fan of Harpies, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, why don't you have Harpies? Cattle versus the handicapped? Cattle capped? Sub-commanders when? What sub-commanders? I think Double Mammoth with Pit Caster and Wolfric Boat. Better White Lions, they don't win without Jades. Without. Yeah. No Harpies, bring the Butchers instead. He'll trash Thoric. He will trash Thoric. Maybe that's the entire reason he was brought, but I'm just saying. I could see the Bloodbrute struggling and just getting shot. Shut down the guns and trade decently into Slayers. They're small units. They lose it, but trade well and keep the guns busy. Huh. The last couple times I've seen Harpies, they have been pretty underwhelming. This is nice from Killer Lion. He takes his high-value assets and he runs at a sight line that now the cannons have to shoot through trees. That's pretty nice. Looks like he is going for a full flank, which is also good because now the cannons are going to have to turn, and we all know the AI doesn't like turning very effectively. But they will get some shots through the trees. Razorgore Herds are going awfully close to the white line. If you're playing in a tournament, by the way, this is too close to the white line. We're just playing in a for fun, talk about what you could do better kind of stream. But for 3, if you're playing in a tournament, don't sit this close to the white line. Because it means if anybody routes, they're just going to go off the map, and that's kind of snaggy. Because, I mean, there's plenty of open field. These guys would rally and come back, but just because it's arbitrarily labeled as the edge of the map, these Razorgores, if they route, are going to instantly die. So that's usually why we have like white line rules and such. Archer's going to start firing into Quarrelers. Quarrelers are 95 armor and bronze shielded. These archers should move up just slightly more and start attacking the bolt throwers and cannons. 100% what they should do. Trading with Quarrelers is not a winning play, unfortunately. But you live and you learn. Other than that, the Beastmen have gotten a good surround, even in their tough position of being so close to the corner of the map. And they are going to start to move in now. It looks like the front lines have engaged, and archers are getting pushed off by all of the quarrelers. But we will get a nice Pit of Shades hitting 2 units. I wonder if it's overcasted or not. Doesn't look like it is from the damage we're getting, but we will see. Razorgores are getting close to engaging. They're in this weird L formation somehow. Don't know how they're in an L formation, but it's working for them, kind of. As Chariots and the Blood Brute pile in, this is all really, really nice. I like this a lot compared to the Norsca game we just watched, where it's like the objective isn't to win the front line, it's just to walk through it. Look now, you have all this stuff mucking things up. These quarrelers can't shoot, they're trying to back up. Cannons are under attack. Razorgores are attacking Midas with blast charges, and they came in at an angle, so Midas blast charges didn't actually get a good throw off, and I really do like that a lot. Where's Torox? He's kind of mauling his way about, trying to get in here, and we do have Warriors of Dragonfire Pass now attacking the Tuskar Chariot. The Chariot is getting stuck in combat a little bit. It needs to go out and through, keep charging, never stay in one place for too long, but Torox can maybe bail out this situation, as the Bloodbrute Behemoth is wandering around, doing its best. Minotaur's Great Weapons are also not having a good time now, surrounded by Longbeards, and maybe Slayers are in here. Yeah, Slayers are in here somewhere. That looks like most of them are off to attack the Bloodbrute, who's just walking straight through them. Nice side charge from Tuskar Chariots, and you can see the Quarrelers have taken a lot of damage. 2 of the artillery pieces out of 3 are shut down, and this is the problem with going so tight on a box, is as soon as anything gets inside of it, it mucks up multiple units at once. Quarrelers and Miners with blasting charges do manage to get 1 volley off onto this Razorgore herd, but a Pit of Shades is going to get its vengeance on those Quarrelers, probably killing them outright, and they are also right next to the edge of the map, so they'll probably scoot-a-loot right off the edge there. Bloodbrute Behemoth is still happy, chilling, vibing in the middle, whereas Dragonfire Pass aren't as much. Now, Chariots have done their job. They mucked up a lot of things. At this point, they need to become dog units and chase off things that have already routed, because the middle has become such a clusterfuck that you're going to forget about them. They're going to get stuck somewhere they shouldn't, and they're going to take a lot of damage. So Chariots need to pull out and harass anything that leaves its friends, leaves the box, push things off the map, that sort of thing. Where are the Minotaurs, and how are they doing? They're very low on health, but they did their job. Beastmen have taken a good command of the game, and I would agree, and Thorix is now facing a Bloodbrute Behemoth, which he will lose that fight, as noted by most of you fine people. Ungor Raiders are back, and they're still shooting at Quarrelers. And yeah, while this progresses, I will say for both players, we talked about it, the Dwarf build was good. Maybe, well not maybe, definitely widen out the box a bit, otherwise if you get compromised at all, you are losing everything. And for the Beastmen, the build's fine. We had some notes on the build, but like, it's more decisions than outright wrong. You know what I mean? Where I'm talking about this build and it's like, I don't see anything wrong, I see things I prefer. So build aside, the Ungor Raiders probably should have shot at the artillery, not the Quarrelers. And that'd be the only note. Otherwise, the Beastmen played really well. Good surround, good charge in at the same time. Nice job not hitting one at a time. That is something that can be hard to do when you're rushing, especially if you get caught off guard about where your opponent is versus where you expected them to be. If like your left flank hits and your right flank's still trying to get around and stuff, that's just not gonna happen. But we saw him get a full surround, come in all at the same time, crush the box, pretty good stuff. I liked it. What's your best favorite bat-like unit? Probably Khorne Furies. Khorne Furies are pretty good. Khorne sucks, but his Furies are good. We have another Pit of Shades. It's going to hit 2 units, including those meddlesome Slayers that Torox and the Bloodbrute are pretty tired of dealing with. And that will be a great Pit of Shades cast. It's just without 2-3 Harpies, you ought to lose to full gyro build. Yeah, Harpies are really good in this matchup. Alright. Last couple times I've seen Beastmen take Harpies, the Harpies have gotten like less than 100 value and got murdered. But I can be wrong. Shit. Bloodbrute Behemoth was not having a great time in his duel versus Thoric Ironbrow. He's now trying to wander around and fight something a little easier, something with a little bit more regen capacity for him. And Razorgore herds plus Ungor herds are chasing off some of the last stuff. We do have Chariots. We have routed units that need to rally. They need to come back into the fight. We'll see if that ends up mattering. The Beastmen are very ahead, but they haven't won it just yet. And if they don't rally these units, that could be a pretty devastating mistake. Dwarves are blobbing up a bit. Ample targets for Pit of Shades that I don't think have been overcasted this entire game, so there should be another one ready relatively soon. Relatively being the key word there. I love losing my lord to copters. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. The value isn't really in killing, it's more in training on guns or gyros. While you do more things while chariots and manticores. Maybe. I just, like I said, I have just seen them die, like, instantaneously. The last couple times there have been harpies on the map, they took a couple shots from cannons on the way in, or one volley from quarrelers, and they lost, like, half their health. And then they landed, didn't do any damage to the quarrelers, and then, like, instantly routed off and died, and they saved their army maybe one volley from the quarrelers for, like, 600 gold. I don't know. I've just been really unimpressed with harpies, personally. There it is. I told you there was one coming soon. Pit of Shades is going to catch a bunch of units. Now, a lot of dwarves did manage to dodge it, but there's also plenty that did not. So that'll be some good damage. I think they've all been undercast, and that one also looks undercast at this moment. So does post-nerf and undercast, but still, damage is damage. Bloodbird Behemoth is reaching his heal cap, and he is pushing in towards Thorix. Somebody's got to kill this fucking guy. And notice how all the dwarves around him are fresh, because for some reason, CA decided the only good dwarf lord needed a fucking AoE better than perfect vigor aura, because perfect vigor auras don't actually give you vigor back, they just stop your vigor from going down. Thorix makes you actively go up. So that's some bullshit, but the Bloodbrute Behemoth and Thorax take him down. Right, but how hard are the horsemen? Still fast, but not like Hound or Bat fast. Bounce Power loves Thorax. It's entirely surrounding he thinks dwarves don't have a chance. I mean, they didn't. Thane did really well. Thoric did fine. The artillery got shot down rather quickly. Slayers did excellently. I do like them in this matchup a lot. Longbeards held for quite a while and honestly got some good value. So did Quarrelers and Miners and stuff. Torox did fine. Bloodbrute did great. Pit of Shades Caster did great. Minotaurs did what they had to, but died. So I'd go with maybe a cheaper variant than the great weapons. Tuskor Chariots did excellently. Razor Gores did just fine. Archers got shut down pretty hard, but they're necessary in case of gyros or whatever. And the Ungors also died, but they're necessary because you need infantry. GG, feel like my artillery got cucked. It did. But you played well. Okay, cool. We are joining Sir Groot. And whatever, dude. I have heard very promising things about Sir Groot. I don't know if I've played you, Sir Groot, but I've heard from some of the people in the Eshin chat that you are quite good. And that's pretty exciting. As for whatever, dude, I've played with him a decent amount, talked to him a lot. He's pretty chill, a Skaven main. Avidly learning and grinding all the new factions. We played a couple games last night, 1-for-1, so clearly a pretty good player. His build seemed good from when I played him. His one issue would be, in the game I beat him, he forgot a lot of units. Like, they would rout and then not come back for a while. Or they'd stay in a bad fight for a while, so. But we'll see. Aleacta Est wants to play. That is fine. We have Tzeentch versus Chaos. Okay. Generally, I would say this is Chaos' favorite just because Chaos has a lot of the same tools as Tzeentch and more. But Tzeentch is one of the better standalone factions, whereas like Nurgle or Khorne or even Slaanesh, a little bit less Slaanesh, so more Nurgle and Khorne can be so one note that they're pretty stuck in their ways and easy to counter. Slaanesh is a little different, but you generally know what you're getting. Tzeentch is by far the best roster at multiple things, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, yeah, Slaanesh is better than Tzeentch at, like, raw rush. Khorne's not even better than Tzeentch at grinding, but that's a different issue, isn't it? And Nurgle's better than Tzeentch at slow melee grinds, but Tzeentch can pull a curveball on you. IDK, how to deal with casters as a dwarf? Thunderers! Thunderers are pretty good. Getting Thoric onto a caster and beating the shit out of it is also pretty good if the caster is mounted, or even unmounted. I guess Slayers could do okay, but Slayers really like a caster be mounted. But that is your biggest disadvantage as a dwarf, is you don't have magic. you don't have great single infantry killing tools outside of melee, so it is pretty hard to kill the caster. You'll probably have to just tank it out. The Pit of Shades nerf added time to the cast, but only lowered the damage on the overcast. Yeah, it's still pretty good. I'm predicting Groot will wipe the floor with this guy. I played against him. He's really, really good. Yeah, so Groot is pretty darn good. My bigger Brute does pretty good in most of the matchups, so let's bring it into the Dwarves. Good. Alright, I gotta talk about this thingy. Why am I getting pinged? Okay. Anyway. For Tzeentch and whatever, dude, we have blue horrors, blue horrors, blue horrors, blue horrors. One pink horror, which just functions as roughly an archer unit. We have 4 marauder horsemen of Tzeentch, it looks like. 2 pink horrors overall. Then we have marauders of Tzeentch. The Severed Claw, aspiring champions. Kairos Fateweaver. What's these guys' little thing? Oh, they're marked by Tzeentch. Okay, that's fine. Kairos Fateweaver with regrowth, blue fire, and harmonic convergence. And 1 Chaos Knight of Tzeentch as well. Okay, interesting build. I don't know this matchup super well, so I'm going to go off of entirely conjecture. On the other side, Marauder Horse Masters, Horsemen, Horse Masters. So 4 Horse Masters, 2 Horsemen. 4 Hellstriders of Slaanesh, an entire front line of Marauders, and Forsaken with Be'lakor leading the way. In general, I like the Tzeentch build. You can do pretty well with Skirmish Cav because you can run up, trade with your shields, and then back off and let your shields recharge, that sort of thing. Also, you do have blue and pink horrors to counterfire against the enemy Skirmish Cav. That all can be well and good. You're gonna have to watch out for the Hellstriders over here, though. That is a bit risky. I'm also not really understanding why the pink horrors are off on the flanks rather than towards the center, because you want blue horrors to get involved in a melee fight if there's gonna be a melee fight, and protect the pinks. You don't want the pinks to protect the blues, so I would say that. As for Sir Groot, running around with all 6 of your Skirmish Cav and a big old blob could be risky. You could get punished by a large collapse or some spell usages, so something to watch out for there. Pink Horrors are getting attacked by Hellstriders on the far side, and while Hellstriders won't do that much damage to Pink Horrors overall, Pink Horrors will hold their own decently. This actually might be a bad trade for the Hellstriders in the end. Still, I'd rather the blues be in their place than the pinks. Doesn't look like Tzeentch is really itching to fight, but Tzeentch does drop micro. It looks like he was distracted on the other side of the battlefield, so Hellstriders get exactly what they wanted in both these Marauder Horsemen. They will both die horrifically. Other pink horrors are caught out here, and it is a big flank overload from the blue side on our, let's just say down area. Another Pit of Shades from Be'lakor is coming out. It's going to hit a blue horror and a Chaos Knight of Tzeentch. And while this side is going well for the red team, this side is going very, very poorly. Yeah. We also got to spam out some blue fire or something onto Be'lakor. There we go. First one is cast. He will take some damage. Be'lakor has healing in his kit. It's just not very good. Any healing is better than no healing, but it's just not very good healing. So blue fire spam on him will eventually do quite good work. Pink horrors are gone on one end, and 2 skirmish calves. So really a big loss for Tzeentch down there. Up on this side, we're doing okay. But it's also very far away, so if this side wins, you're going to have to walk your infantry so far down to help out the rest of your force that I also am very concerned about that. Yeah, pretty concerned about that. Chaos Knights are going to fight Be'lakor as long as Pit of Shades is down. That can be a decent decision, though Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma is going to slow them, and there are 6 skirmish cav nearby that want to have a word with you, but they are not so swift as they all take a charge from the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, making it hard for them to get off their payloads of javelins, but also a good melee trade for the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. Now, one thing that does annoy a lot of people is that Marauder Horse Masters aren't that bad in melee combat, and for only 750 gold, that can be rather annoying, so they're not even taking that much damage from these Chaos Knights, as Be'lakor gets in a rear charge. Kairos is going to have to do something. He doesn't have Infernal Gateway. It's not like he can punish this blob with that or anything. And a big chaos overload of cavalry is just crumbling away blue horrors. These Knights of Tzeentch are now surrounded. Though I will say, keeping your skirmish cav in combat for this long, even to lock down these Chaos Knights, is proving rather costly. Red won over here, but as we mentioned earlier in the game, it's like, you won over here, that's pretty great. Good job winning that, but it's going to take you so long to support the rest of the fight. that I don't know if it's worth it to deploy that wide with your infantry, especially your ranged infantry. Ranged infantry should be closer to the center so they can support fights on either side. I'm alive in here now. What up, Zep? Alright. What to do? Severed Claw are fighting some randoms. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have worn out their welcome and they are very, very injured. It looks like we have 5 skirmish cabs still up and active, so it was 1 skirmish cab for an entire Chaos Knight of Tzeentch, which is going Sir Groot's way. Severed Claw is currently fighting some Hellstriders, so good for him, but Be'lakor is quite healthy and Kairos is not quite the carry potential that Be'lakor is, so he won't do that well. If we look at the overall map, for Tzeentch it is just some blue and pink horrors on this far side plus 1 skirmish cav and the Severed Claw, and for Chaos they still have honestly most of their force. They've lost a lot of their chaff infantry, to be fair, but they don't need it as badly. Be'lakor is throwing out a predictive Pit of Shades that'll catch these pink horrors. Maybe the Hellstriders will even charge them. No, it looks like the Hellstriders are going to charge Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, who will fall back, but too late and get caught. Look at this just blob of skirmish cav. Alright. Bolt of Change is coming down. It looks like it's targeting the front right. That one specific Marauder Horseman. And when the whole unit turns around, it retargets, hitting, I don't know, 1 guy? 2 guys? Killed 2 guys. Severed Claw's getting kited. Kairos can't carry this whole game. And the pink and blue horrors are getting swept up. Balance of Power doesn't show it, but I do think that is GG, probably. I cooked like a triple portion, so probably all of my food in the vast majority of this week. What up, dude? And Mr. Toyf will count you out of the queue because there's a lot of people there. What are you talking about? Alright. Kairos is currently surrounded by skirmish cav. They will throw at him soon. But this is Ogre. Damage value is about 2 to 1. I don't think it was a build issue, I just think it was a deployment issue, unfortunately, for whatever, dude. But we talked about that ad nauseum. For Sir Groot, I think skirmish cav traveling in such a blobbed up formation could be a problem. Because we saw many of them got compromised by 1 Chaos Knight that just ran in. So definitely do want to spread them out a little bit. Even if not across the battlefield, just across like the literal way they were standing. I'm still here, don't worry, just if there are newer players, they should play instead. I see. Groot is very good. He is very good. Alrighty. Be'lakor and his horseman cav did fine. Forsaken did okay. Marauders got mostly murdered, and Hellstriders of Slaanesh did overall very well. On the other side, Kairos and Chaos Knights and Severed Claw did okay, but a little undervalued. Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch got mostly compromised quickly by the Hellstriders. And Blue Horrors and Marauders did fine. They did fine. Okay, so I need to go fix this. What the fuck? This is not what I told you to take me to. Alea Teufel. Okay. Where's whatever, dude? All right, Zep. I just messaged the players to see if they wanted to do one more, because our list currently isn't super long, so it's not like we have to fly through these. Up next, we will have Shogunuk and Matthew. At Shogunuk and at Matthew, you are up after this next game. Host a lobby on Altdorf outskirts, please. Okay, so we have that ready. What about the Tzeentch setup? Anything you would change? Yeah, we mentioned at the start, Groots, but I personally wasn't a fan of the ranged units being out on the wings and the melee units being in the center. But then when the ranged units were compromised, nothing was nearby to help them. And when one side, the ranged units, won their fight, it took them so long to get back to the main area that everything else died, and then they died. So for the Tzeentch formation, I would probably do 2 lines instead of 1 super long line and have like all your ranged behind all your melee. For sure. For Chaos, it was pretty strong skirmish play. Good build. Liked it a lot. Skirmish Cav should split up more rather than move around in one big blob that, if like Infernal Gateway had existed or something, could have been pretty tough. Okay. Sorry, dealing with game stuff. Matthew is also dropping, so now Zep is back. GG's to both Stony Strikes. GG's to both. It does look like Sir Groot is hanging on to Chaos, and whatever dude has switched to Undead. Pistol mobs, bomber mobs, mortars, and cannons. Pistol mobs, bomber mobs, mortars, and cannons. Let's just keep the rat man busy. Thanks, Teufel. This is an interesting coast build. I'm trying to think about it. Pistol mobs would be good against skirmish cav, but only if they approach from the front. Otherwise, the pistols will get off a few volleys, not do too much damage in my experience, and they will die faster than normal zombies. So I think normal zombies might be better. Might be, but I'm not super sold on that. I'm still thinking. Mortars are good. Generally, I wouldn't have suggested them this matchup, but for me in Warhammer 3, mortars have actually been performing pretty amazingly. And cannons have been super underwhelming. Traditionally, cannons do well into skirmish cav, but for me, Cathay cannons have been, but Empire and Coast cannons just for some reason have been doing absolute dog shit. I don't know why they're so bad all of a sudden, but I'm still figuring that out myself. So in theory, cannons are good to force in the skirmish cav, and also a cannon only costs 750 for the Coast, so it's pretty low investment. Noctilus is a good lord. Depth Guard are great after they're buffed. The pole arms variant can really surprise people because their symbol is the exact same as a zombie pirate mob with pole arms. So if you're just busy in the battle and not hovering over each unit to see what it is, you could get a very expensive unit stuck in them and die. It's happened to me before. Okay. On the other side, I didn't look at Sir Groot's build too much. I know it didn't change a crazy amount. We have 4 Marauder Horse Masters still, 4 Hellstriders that will smash still. We have Archaon with Spirit Leech, Burning Head, and Searing Doom. Those are all really good spells. Chaos Warriors, Marauders, and 1 Chaos Chariot to muck up the box, plus a single Aspiring Champion for some magic damage against Sirens. Sirens! And they call it to mine. Mine. I worry about this Chaos build. I do. Animated Hulks being cheap now makes a Chariot not suffice to block up the coast anymore. Times have changed, my friend. Times have changed. So I think that Chariot's going to run into some big problems pretty early on. Hellstriders also in this matchup, unless they can catch out an animated Hulk, but even then will not trade super effectively, as undead units don't like flee or anything. So in sustained combat, these guys can run into issues. Skirmish Cav versus the Coast is fine, not ideal. It's fine, but they're undead and they're a boxing faction, so they don't care too much about kiting. So I don't know. A lot of, like, basically everything from this Hellstrider to this Marauder Horsemaster, everything right here I think is fine versus Vampire Coast, but isn't, like, great. And there's so much of it in this build that I start to get nervous. Archaon's good. The Infantry Corps is good. Maybe you want some Forsaken. Maybe you want some more Chaos Warriors. Maybe you want some Chaos Knights. Maybe some more dogs. Manticores are pretty good against Coast in general. I don't know. Cavalry is good. I just worry the Hellstriders are gonna get messed up a little bit with their low armor. Anyway, for the Coast deployment, looks like all the pistols are on the backside to help deal with dogs, so they'll shoot at dogs or skirmish cav on their way in, and then just be blockers from there. That's an interesting idea. I don't mind it. It does leave your front line awfully exposed. We have some bombers, but bombers like to have someone in front of them that they can throw over, which could get tricky. Looks like the depth guard are going to fill in the gaps there. I'd probably back up and spread out a little bit from the Coast. They're a little too close. Same thing we were talking about earlier with the Dwarven game. Is like these bombers will throw great if infantry walk up, but if like chariots or cav or something come flying in, they'll muck up this cannon and this bomber at the same time, so that'll be rather annoying for the Coast. Probably afford to back up. Because you also probably want these bombers facing forwards and not sideways, but currently the way the box is angled, they're just stuck facing sideways because otherwise they get in the cannon's way. Yeah. You really like Sir Groot's Dark Elves? What up, Pantalonade? I help Alfred run a stream for the audio channel. My English is quite bad, so I stream in French. I managed to sort the debug cam for me. It's awesome. Thanks, Stoney. Well, not thanks. Good for you, Stoney. Don't know why I said thanks. My bad. Good. I like debug cam a lot. It's just the freedom to zoom out as much as you need to. Do this gun have... It's a bit checkerboard formation and quite wide, so they support each other with overlapping fields of fire. Full gun checkerboards have not been doing very well recently for the Coast. So cannons are shooting. Now they're shooting at infantry right now, which isn't what they want. They'll want to eventually find large targets, but it looks like most of the large targets are going to stay out of range, as is pretty smart, except maybe this chariot's in range right now, so maybe our cannon friend can actually get some stuff done. But it doesn't look like he's firing right now. I wonder if whatever dude starts off the game with fire at will off. Because that would explain some things. Anyway. The mortars do great. I've noticed that. For some reason, carronades suck recently, and they miss a lot, and I don't know what their deal is, but mortars are great. Gun heavy. Oh, yeah. I see, I see. Archaon's chucking a burning head out onto some bombers. But it won't do crazy amounts of damage, and he is just going to get counter-fired by some pistols, getting a little bit of poke, and a Wraithstorm that he mostly dodged just by moving. This cannon is now starting to fire, and oh no! The chariots took that stupid line formation that things do in Warhammer 3 a lot, meaning the cannonballs hit multiple models in a row as it was moving through. Meanwhile, these cannons are trying to punish Marauder Horsemasters just for existing. Just take that. How dare you exist? Exist in my line of sight. Bombers are moving over. Looks like they have attack orders onto these Marauders, possibly. And we get to see how the backline does with the little pistols, doing little pistol harass. Whatcha! Hellstriders charge in. Hellstriders hit some animated hulks. Animated hulks take some damage. Hellstriders are all bunched up. Now they are attacking the pistols as we foresaw, and they're doing decent damage. Now more animated hulks are coming in to support, and bombers are fucking up the front lines. The front line is going pretty well for the Vampire Coast. Archaon has also come in, tried to stop the bombers from throwing. Don't know what the bombers are even trying to throw at. Probably going to turn and fire these Hellstriders if the looks of things is true. What are cannons doing? Cannons are going to go fire at aspiring champions. Okay. That's probably fine. It seems like it's fine. These mortars are turning around to do, I don't know what, something. Something important, I imagine. We have a Pit of Shades from Noctilus onto two Hellstriders who are also surrounded by zombie pirate deckhand mobs. So they will try to get out, but they're a little bogged down, and it looks like both of them will rout. And they're probably going to run off the map. No, back of the map is very far away, so they will indeed rally. Marauder Horsemasters are coming in as one big unit. Again, the thing we noted in Game 1 between these two is that the Skirmish Cav all kind of tend to be treated as one unit, which is problematic. But they are diving in as they should be doing. I just wish they would do it separately. They're going to shut down a cannon, probably float over to this mortar, probably float over to another cannon. Vampire Coast is quite ahead on the balance of power, and damage value is roughly similar, but they do have a little lead there. The balance of power is kind of crazy, though. It's kind of crazy. Bombers turn and start to throw into Marauder Horsemasters that are piling into carronades, and it looks like these pistol mobs are holding on. They took out a Marauder and now are working on a Chaos Chariot slowly but surely. Animated Hulks are fighting down Hellstriders. More Animated Hulks are fighting random Marauder Horsemasters. And Animated Hulks going on down to only 500 gold is pretty clutch in a lot of Coast matchups. They really enjoy that quite a lot. Damage values are evening up. Balance of power is coming back towards the middle, though it's not quite there yet. We did lose a cannon. We get another zombie summon from Noctilus. It's going to run around and do some zombie summon things. Try and help out. It looks like the Wraith Storm is coming for the Chariot, probably. Where is it? Who's it targeting? Chariot or these Marauder Horsemasters? Horsemasters. Yeah, I take some damage from it. Nice little poke. Damage values coming back closer to even. Depth Guard pole arms are still over here. Where are the other ones? If the other Depth Guard pole arms is dead, we have a pretty significant problem on our hands. Looks like they might be. One Animated Hulk is way over chasing some Hellstriders with Slash. That's just a whoopsie. They need to come back. But yeah, one Depth Guard with pole arms entirely died somewhere while we weren't looking, and that is pretty bad. Another Pit of Shades from Noctilus is going to catch Aspiring Champions and Marauders. Does okay damage over there. Not as much as the Aspiring Champions because there aren't as many models for it to hit, but yeah. Bounce power is just about dead even. Damage value goes to Sir Groot at this point. And Noctilus was dueling Archaon, decided against it. Now thinks maybe another shot? Nah, never mind. Yes, maybe. And he is going to fight him. These Chaos Warriors are fighting Animated Hulks and Depth Guard polearms. They aren't enjoying that whatsoever. And another zombie summon is just trying to keep these Marauder Horsemen honest and make sure they can't do whatever they want to. I think the balance of power is being silly. I think Chaos has a pretty... There you are! There you are, you cheeky fucks! Alright, we have a full health Depth Guard with polearms unit. That explains a lot. They are running back to the fight. They got a little lost on their way back to the box and said, sorry, Chief, we missed out. Archaon's going to start Spirit Leech spamming Noctilus till the end of the game. That is probably smart, and he's going to only charge in when he has his buffs up. For the rest of Chaos, what do we have? We have some Marauders, some damaged-ass Cav, some damaged Chariots. 3 Skirmish Cav? 3 Skirmish Cav. On the Vampire Coast side, we do have the 2 Depth Guards still alive, one of which is at literally full health. And 2 Animated Hulks that are around but barely hanging on to life, and one that's actually pretty healthy. And I think we'll either take some Skirmish Cav fire or maybe a Hellstrider charge at the last second here. But Noctilus is not having the best time. He should be using his Winds of Magic on healing himself at this point, rather than so many summons. I don't know if this one's from the Roth's Moondial, but he needs some healing, like, real bad. Like, real bad. Entire Vampire Coast army crumbling and dying horribly. Balance of power. ID key, man. It seems pretty close. True. Where the fuck were those? Chasing something off. They came from the depths. True. Yeah, if Noctilus dies right here, he's gonna regret not having spent more Invocation Hex. There we go. There's one. That's nice. That's clutch. Animated Hulks should probably come right over here and just help defend Noctilus and side charge these guys. They need to stop chasing around horsemen because they're not gonna catch them. These ones out here are taking a ton of skirmish cav fire and they're gonna get rear charged by Hellstriders, so I guess these ones are already doomed, but the ones you have left should probably stay around their support structure. More depth guard with polearms are going for a walk. They need to turn around, and it looks like they will. They're gonna come back and fight Marauders, which is fine. Just fine. Skirmish cav, you can't catch them, you can't shoot them at this point, so you just need to take the rest of their ammunition. These animated hulks are unfortunately just dead. Like, you can't get them back. Rip in peace. But it's time to focus up. Alright. What does Cyrus want? Oh no, I don't know, Cyrus. I'm not reading whatever that is, it's silly. He probably shouldn't... He should probably try to kill the depth guard while they're isolated. Probably. Probably. Animated hulks that were off in the middle of nowhere did get killed off. And Noctilus is now getting Spirit Leech. He should keep Invocation to hecking himself, which he is. He also has the Hunger, so as long as he's in combat with something around here, he will be doing quite well. Archaon is a considerable amount of balance of power, and he is very healthy. But he's used a lot of Winds of Magic this game, so I wonder how much he has left. And this cavalry all around him is not doing so hot, doesn't have a lot of ammunition left. So maybe the depth guard can drag it out as long as they don't get isolated again. Archie charges in with Slayers of King active. Polearms are surrounding him now, though, and Noctilus himself is a pretty decent combatant with 60 melee defense and a lot of anti-large to boot. Archaon is stuck in a fight with him. I wonder, does Noctilus have any summons left? There's one. Another summon. Jumps in to push off some of the Hellstriders, and push off they shall, but Noctilus takes a nasty shot from Archaon. Does Archaon stick around for more? It does not look like it. He is forced to run away. And Noctilus chases after him for a little bit before turning back into his depth guard, who are also chasing off Archaon quite a bit. Another Spirit Leech is coming in, and I wonder, do we have Invocation to heck or not? It's looking like a bit of not at the moment. Damn, that Spirit Leech did a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. Nocti is starting to crumble. With that, Chaos might just clutch it out. They're up about 2-to-1 on the damage value, so I guess not that shocking. Invocation is cast. Noctilus is healing up a bit. Depth guard polearms are crumbling, going away. We have another like full health one. And Chaos's Cav Core is somehow still alive. Somehow. But I think Archie can finish off Noctilus with 1 or 2 more Spirit Leeches and maybe a charge. He'll be fine. These aspiring champions are fighting to the very end. Good for them. Good for them. No, Cyrus, I will not read your warning. Alright. We do have a Searing Doom from Archaon onto the Depth Guard with polearms. Certainly some poke damage. Maybe want to focus on Spirit Leeching Noctilus, but I don't know. Maybe he's like completely out of Winds of Magic. Maybe. Marauders streaking in. Depth Guard turned to meet them, and Archaon goes for Count Noctilus, but he gets kind of lost in the sauce in his own troops. That's no bueno. And the Depth Guard are doing their best to fight their way out, but effective cycle charging can mean you take almost no damage. And I think that is the end for good sir whatever dude. Please send Archie in. He did. Another Spirit Leech onto Noctilus. Archaon himself is having a hard time hitting him, but if he's just swinging, he'll probably do it, but he's not. He's not swinging. He's stuck on his own guy. There we go. That's army losses. So you're the Batman. Fuck you, Batman. Ugh. GG, well played. Depth guard and Hulk running off to different corners of Narnia was a bit of a problem for the coast. It was a bit of a problem. Zombie pistols did alright. Mortar did alright. One of the cannons did well, the other one didn't do that great. But I don't know, man. Cannons are weird. Polearms actually did quite well. Knuckles did fine. Bombers did okay. Basic zombies did okay. Animated Hulks, mixed. One paid for itself. Archie, 4,500 value. Yeah, that sounds about right. Skirmish Cav did great. Chariot did not. Chaos Warriors did not. Hellstriders honestly didn't do that well. They got mostly fucked up, and Marauders didn't do that well. It was heavily carried by Archie and the Skirmish Cav. Alright. I have to join Shogunik and Zep. We'll have Alea and Mr. Teufel up next. We're here. Dark Elves versus Skaven. This feels real bad for Skaven. But okay. But okay. God, I've been struggling into Dark Elves. They're such a pain in the dick. Soul Stealer! Fuck you! You're such an asshole. Soul Stealer. Very fun, very interactive. Oh, hey, is that a Circle of Doom appearing? Cool, I have 1 second to dodge it, or it latches onto me forever. Don't worry, just micro out of the circle. It's like Final Transmutation. No, it's not. The damage follows you. What up, Agoraphobic News? How you doing? I had 37 wins and 3,700 losses and was ranked 11th on the ladder. What a joke. The CA ladder? That seems very silly. I know there's still some, like, bugs in their ladder where, like, you can win one game and get up to a crazy elo somehow that you can't ever come down from, and then you're just the best player alive. Soulsteer is only decent for single entries, though. It's like 600 damage. I don't know, man. It does a lot of damage. I've seen Malekith on a dragon just spam Soulstealer on my Lizardman over and over and over again, and it gets pretty fucking toxic. Killed my mage. Brought my dinos down. It's pretty annoying. CA's ladder? I see. Alright. For the Dark Elves, we have 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, 2 Manticores, Malice Darkblade, Sorceress of Fire with Fireball and Burning Head, front line of Bleak Swords, and Black Arc Corsairs mixed in there. And pretty good overall. I'd maybe cut the Black Arc Corsairs for Dark Riders, but otherwise it's a fine build. Yeah. Oh, we do have some Dark Riders, good. Okay, never mind, then that's fine. If you had no Dark Riders, then I would definitely say do that. So we have 4 Dark Riders. It looks like all of them have shields. Yeah. Seems fine then. For the Skaven of Zep, we have Natty Booba Sharpshooters, the Arwar Jazales, we have the Council Guard, Gracie of Ruin on a Bell with Dread 13th and the Howling Warpgale are fine. We have an Assassin and a Plague Priest with just the Vermintide summon. 4 Rat Ogres, 4 Globes, some Skaven Slave Spears, Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats across the front line. Okay. Seems pretty fine. What do I worry about here? I mean, Malice. You only really have Rat Ogres to deal with Malice, and that can be difficult. Yeah. Splinter, Zep, and Shogunik new players? I mean, I paired them together because they aren't exactly new. Scenes involving alcohol and forced consumption or shameless acts are not encouraged. Please use this as a comedy. Yeah. I saw it, Cyrus. It was silly. It was cursed, but it was silly. Anyway. It's a solid Skaven build. I'm worried it's not going to work, but I can't tell you exactly, like, here's what's wrong with it. It's just, looking at this, I'm super worried. I guess because the infantry quality is so poor, which is just a given with Skaven, I understand that, but still. I feel like raw Skaven slaves are just going to get toppled over, and then you'll have four globes that can't defend themselves, and they'll all get mucked up. I think. Council Guard, I generally think, are overpriced. Certain matchups, they can be good, but I don't think this one. Because they're 1350 gold for Guardian and Unbreakable, but Dark Elves are just going to roll over them. Yeah. Anyway, Fireballs start off early, hits the Plague Priest, does pretty good damage to him. Undercast, I imagine. Even pokes down the Council Guard a little bit. And Malice is moving in! The Darkblade, the Demon Mancer, the Edgelord Incarnate, is looking like he's going to sprint straight into Poisonwind Globes as they get off like a million volleys onto him. Jesus Christ. And one Howling Warp Gale is going to stop a Manticore, but on the other side, what'll stop the other Manticore? I wonder. Malice dives on a Natty Boop with Sharpshooters, and it looks like the Assassin plus maybe some Rat Ogres are going to have to come stop him. But other Rat Ogres are running after Dark Riders into the distance. Bit of a micro misplay there, as now these guys, as we saw in the previous game, are really out of position from where they want to be, and now they're coming back. Well, one's coming back. The other one's really committing to chasing down those Dark Riders who are faster, but also cheaper than the Rat Ogres, so even if you find them and fight them, it's not going to be worth it. One Dark Rider does charge the Natty Boobos that ran through the Council Guard to try and get to safety, and Malice looks like he has mucked up some more Poisonwind Globes. Now, while that is occurring, Poisonwind Globes are doing very well against the front line, surely, but now they're getting distracted and destroyed in the back line. So we have two of them that are still up right now, throwing quite well. Blackguard Corsairs, I don't know, man. They do okay in melee, but in Skaven it doesn't matter how well you do in melee. Which is kind of my point. I don't love Blackguard Corsairs. I prefer just more units. We have a Burning Head cast very far away, and it looks like it's just not going to quite hit the Council Guard, but it does intercept the running Poison Globe, so that ended up being okay, but definitely a miscast there. It was not meant to be that far away, I don't think. Skaven are up on the balance of power, but the damage value tells a very different story, and the damage value is usually what matters in these things. Malice is still disrupting as many weapons teams as he can, and the Dark Elf front line is trying to get through, but a charge from the rear of the Dark Riders and the Sorceress will stop those globes from singing any further. Dark Riders have really been all over the map, taking out tons of stuff, and Malice is unhurt, untouched, unsullied. Or something. I don't know, man. I just work here. Dread 13th Summon is going to take out an entire Bleak Sword unit. That'll probably rout soon, and you now have a Stormvermin Halberd unit ready to run around and do some things. But what sorts of things will it do? Greyseer is currently getting its ass handed to it by Malice, and now Rat Ogres and Assassins are all surrounding him, but he can transform into Zarkan at any point and become even more powerful than ever before. Two Skaven Globe teams are still alive. One Dark Rider is going to catch this one out and about. Out on the town, as the kids say. But the other one will turn around and fight. But a Manticore popping in. I'm surprised their leadership is so freaking high, despite the fact that a Manticore is currently bodying them. Odd. Where's the other Manticore? What happened to him? Okay, just rallied. Good for you, friend. Going for the Skaven. We do have a couple units of Rat Ogres around that are rather healthy. We'll give them that. Their core is doing alright. Malice is almost forced into Tzarkan. So that's cool. That's good. They're using a lot of Winds of Magic on the Dreaded 13th and the Summons and another Howling Warp Gale, so I wonder how much they'll have left in the late game. Not that you should save it just for saving its sake, but I am just saying they'll probably be out of magic soon. And I haven't seen a ton out of the Firecaster yet, so she probably still has some in the tank. We get to Zarkand at last, and if he pops his like blob punishment spells right now, he will hit 4 pretty crucial units. So I wonder when he will use those. Those paired with the burning head could probably rout off some of these rat ogres or something. There we go, big explosion, lots of damage. Very nice. Sorceress of Fire is now trying to get out of a bad situation, as there are a whole bunch of rat ogres near her. And this is a summons. This will go away eventually, but the rat ogres are the bigger problem. Poison globes, it looks like they're trying to throw on guard mode, but they want to be careful about doing that or they'll hit all their own units. How's this going? Manticores and Dark Riders are chasing off most things that have routed. Where were the Scourge Runner chariots? Holy shit, I forgot you guys existed. Ooh, those might have been forgotten. Ooh, those might have been forgotten, and that would explain a lot. Ah. Those would have been very useful in mucking up the Poison Globes and punishing the Rat Ogres, and now it looks like they get caught in melee combat with the Rat Ogres, which they don't want. They're going to start running away. Ah, that is brutal. Eeh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh, owie. Zarkand is chasing down the Grey Seer. It looks like he's going to finish it off with the help of a Manticore who is gently trying to land behind it all sneaky style, but that was not the most helpful way of doing that. We do have another Clan Rat summon, all trying to pile onto the Grey Seer, who does pop Unholy Clamor and runs away, giving everybody leadership. But the Scourge Runner misplay, it might cost the Dark Elves the game. I was wondering, it felt a little thin. Should Rattling Guns have friendly fire? I think they do. They can't shoot quite often because they're blocked by friendly units. Yeah, I would prefer that they would just fire through their friends rather than not fire at all. Scourge Run Chariots were remembered and brought into the fight and subsequently caught up in Rat Ogres, and it looks like they are going to die. So that is a misplay for sure. Meanwhile, Malice is chasing down and killing off the Grey Seer. And Globes are throwing onto a couple Chariots, which is actually going to do more damage to their Rat Ogre friends than the Chariots. So careful with that one. And yeah, Quick Burning Head is going to take out a bunch of stuff. Though I think this is a summon. Yes, it is. But the Clan Rat Spears with shields and yada yada are also going to run away, and they're not a summon. So goodbye, them. Yeah, Scourge Runner's not getting their value back is pretty huge. Burning Head bounces off the rock and comes back. That's kind of clutch. As a Fireball is going to poke the Grey Seer a little bit, but if it's not overcast, it's not going to do too much damage to him. He has 100 armor and some spell resist, so you need to overcast if you're going to do anything. I don't generally recommend fireballing your Grey Seer, though. Sorceress Lady might want to dive someone, or over here and help out to Zarkand for a little bit, who does pop another explosion, hurts some Rat Ogres a lot, and we will have a Dark Rider rear charge, but you mostly just need the rear charge for leadership at this point on the Skaven to really knock them down. Yeah, it's looking a little over. Rest in peace, those Scourge Run Chariots. I mean, how much are Scourge Runners? Are they 900 or 1100? I'm trying to remember. But playing most of the game without 2,200 gold is pretty catastrophic. I think Shogun X build was solid. There was just a pretty key misplay there. Because we saw how well Malice did at just running around the blob and fucking up Poison Globes, like absolutely destroying the Poison Globes. Chasing down the Grey Seer, putting him at death's door. Like all that stuff, but we were just missing some Scourge Runners. They're pretty fast and agile, not dying to random garbage 2 minutes in the game unless you land. Yeah, 950. Okay, so that is about 2,000 gold. That just wasn't involved. Fireball spam on the Grey Seer. He still has 500 health. He's really not noticing it too much. And the Dark Elves are rallying their last few people. Just keeping army losses at bay, but I really don't think there's a chance. Howling Warp Gale is going to lock down the lady. I don't think there's anything to punish that. We don't even have the Ruin passive for like lowered leadership or anything. I think we're just waiting on like 1 or 2 more fireballs to try and hit this Grey Seer. I think that's what the Dark Elves are going for. These Dark Riders get, like, stopped mid-charge for some reason. That was a little weird. And they just route. Stop for mid-charge for no reason, and then get killed and routed. That was silly. That was very silly. Fireball caster is still trying to snipe out the Greyseer. It's going to take, like, 2 more fireballs to finish him off. And Black Ark Corsairs will trade against the Council Guard. They probably win that on a good day, but not when they're that wounded. And army losses will hit it last. Malice got 2,300 value. Good lad. Manticores did not get as much. Black Ark Corsairs did okay. Dark Riders did fantastically overall. And Bleak Swords got murdered by Poison Globes. Greyseer did fine, 777, lucky boy. Stormvermin with Halberds did just fine. Assassin did great. Plague Priest did a lot of summons, which was good. Natty Boobles got shut down rather quickly. Rat Ogres were clutch. They did a ton of work. Poison Globes did all right. 2 of them didn't pay for themselves. 1 did, and 1 paid for itself with gusto. So overall, they did fine. Skaven Slaves did what they needed to. GG. Where is Alea and Teufel? Can you host a lobby on Valley of Thieves? We will be with you after this game. Stupid assassin kept dropping attack commands. True, Zep, true. I have noticed a lot more attack orders getting dropped in Game 3. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Though I do have confidence they'll fix it. In future patches. Buckets of 100 dice. That Gorgon didn't drop attack orders on Thoric in your game? True. True. Looks like we have Kislev versus Empire, or as I like to say, Empire versus Empire 2, Electric Boogaloo. Never mind, it's Dark Elves again! Or is it? Time will tell. Yeah, it looks like Dark Elves Empire. The meta here is usually Volkmar or Marcus Wolfhart versus Malekith or Supreme Sorcerer SS. Supreme Sorceress. Yeah. Those are usually the lords we see. Shades have been pretty common. Dark Shards have been pretty common. Scourger and Chariots are pretty common. Coldwell Knights, Dark Riders, and then your front line is Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, and you rush, kind of. Yeah, so Dark Elves, it's either like a weird kite sort of thing or a rush. For the Empire, it's usually artillery forcing your opponent in or a rush. It's hard for the Empire to kite Dark Elves. Not impossible, but it is difficult. You thought it was Kislev, but it's me, Dark Elves. Dude, I haven't even watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I love the "It's me, Dio." I just love it. Big fan. I have confidence they'll fix it in future patches. CA in the future patches. More buffs for Cathay. I will say some people in domination mode got annoyed at Cathay being too strong, and then I haven't seen them on like any of the streams. Whenever I pop in, it's still like Tomb King's VC or like VC Warriors of Chaos or some shit like that. It's just all I see. I shouldn't say it's all I see. There is other stuff. Like Void Lulls versus Houseplant. I saw Wood Elves versus Tzeentch for a bit. What else did I pop in on? I don't know. The viewership on that grand final was pretty bad. For Turin. Like, everything's relative. For Turin, that was not great viewership, considering it was a grand final. Whereas for anybody else, that would be insane viewership, but yeah. Cathay needs buffs because I play Cathay. Ironclad logic there. I have no rebuttal, honestly. That is it. You win that round. For Zep, I'm concerned. This is a lot of Daka with not a lot to defend it. You have 4 Spearmen and 4 Empire Knights defending all this. That feels brutal. On Shogunik's side, a naked Lady Rush can work. I guess Spearmen don't have as high of armor as I'm used to. Yeah. Ooh, and 5 Bleak Swords. Yeah, that's a lot of infantry. Shogunik, the Dark Elves are just going to have to be okay with taking a lot of damage over time. They're going to need to keep up the pressure and do that. We have some Black Orc Corsairs with handbows. The only non-armor piercing skirmish unit, the only non-armor piercing ranged unit at all of the Dark Elf roster. Curious why he brought them here. Personally, and that 3 Dark Riders, 1 Cold, 1 Knight, and we do have Malekith with Shoulder Stealer on his dragon. So it's a Naked Lady plus Bleak Sword Rush with a little bit of cav support and some skirmish hand bows. I don't know what those are for. So personally, I don't think that they have much of a place in this build, but I could be wrong. It's just my 2 cents is the build's fine except for those guys. Don't understand them. Buff Cathay, please. To be honest, this Dom Sue's never gonna get me as a viewer, but even when I was surprised how long it was, I thought most people preferred Dom. Aren't wagons a meme? Nah, wagons are apparently super good now. I don't see an answer to Sunmaker here. I also don't, though Malekith could just fly up to it. He would get netted and shot, so he shouldn't do that, but he could. He could. They'll probably just have to eat its ammunition, as most factions do. The Sunmaker has such low ammo that it usually gets all of it out before it dies anyway. Aside from that, 3 War Wagons, Silver Bullets, Sunmaker, 4 Empire Knights, Wolfheart, Jade Wizard with Dwellers Below, and Earthblood, and then 4 Spearmen. Again, I like the pieces to this build from Zep. I don't love how they came together. I am super concerned that there is not enough to defend the ranged assets. Spartan saying, you think Zep needs more infantry here? I would agree. Like, I think 3 War Wagons are good. I think Silver Bullets are good. I think a Sunmaker's good. I don't know if they're all good at the same time. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Malekith's gonna have to be careful. He can't overcommit or he'll die, because there's a lot to shoot him. Silver Bullets, 3 War Wagons, and Marcus Wolfheart can do a lot of damage while he's netted. Wagons got way faster and better indeed. What up, Tian? It's been a while. How are you doing? Good, sir. We are off. The Sunmaker is a-firing. Malekith jukes it and says, haha, get fucked, nerd, as the people behind him are like, ah! Oh, God! The destruction! The devastation! I'm all out of a drink. God damn it. Sunmaker's second volley hits 3 different units. Congratulations, Sunmaker. Congratulations. Nicely done. Though you are down 1/8 of your ammunition. Uh-oh. Sister Slaughter did dodge it. Bleak Swords took a little bit of side fire. And the Sunmaker is down. Fire. Fire! Fire, you fool! Fire, goddammit! I want to finish my thought, but I'm waiting on you! One-quarter of its ammunition. There we go. The wait was worth it, trust me. War Wagons are showing Malekith who's boss, and he is not enjoying that conversation whatsoever. God damn, they do so much damage. Holy crap. I, for one, don't mind War Wagons getting brought up in par with post-Scourge Runner's Warside world. Yeah, War Wagons are fine. They're fine. I haven't had too much issue with dealing with them. Like, they're strong, but I'm not saying, like, I just can't deal with them. It's impossible. Oh, fuck. Flanking Dark Riders. Okay. Alright. They should definitely wait for the front line, though, because there's 4 Empire Knights versus 3 Dark Riders, so they're going to lose that fight, so they shouldn't take it just yet. But good patience. Good patience from Shogunnik, leaving them behind for a bit. No reason to throw them away so carelessly, but oh, speaking of carelessly, Annette, the silver bullets turn, Marcus turns as well, war wagons are directly beneath, and Malekith is in trouble. He needs a soul steal or something. Yeah, that's a good cast. It's only going to really hit Marcus, maybe the silver bullets. Just Marcus, but he needed the healing, because he's about to take a bunch. Ow. Nice Gaze of Malice, does some good damage. Black Ark Crusaders, the handbows are through, and here you go. The Empire Knights have committed to keeping the front line stable, so the Dark Riders need to come up now. I do wish that at least one of them was going this way, and then like 2 can go this way or something, but all 3 here, it could be possible you get mucked up by 1 Empire Knight, which would be a tragedy. Pillars Below is going to kill the Coldwood Knight, but honestly, that Coldwood Knight was already having such a bad time that that Dwellers Below might not have been worth it in the end. And did I mention that Dark Elves have like a shitload of infantry? Because they're here now. They're here now, and the end of men is upon us. Dip in, dip in, dip in! Good lads, good lads! 1 Dark Rider blocks up 2 Empire Knights, the other one's gonna fuck off, and this one's gonna take out the Sunmaker. Yes! How did you end up over there? How did you end up over there? Go attack the Sunmaker, you fools! You absolute dunces. Anyway, Malekith is almost dead. That's cool. That's exciting. He needs to run the fuck away. Wait for his next 3 or 5 Soul Stealers to save him. These Witch Elves should attack the War Wagons, try to rampage them down. That would be pretty ideal. Otherwise, did I mention something? Human Boy, you said something about ranged units and too many of them and not enough melee units. Yeah, you know, Random Observer, I did. And I was not super sure about myself as a person, but then I saw all the ranged units die instantaneously, and I thought maybe there might have been too many of those. Malekith's still running around, still trying not to die. He needs to just take a fucking chill pill and stop being in the range of a bunch of war wagons. Now, these war wagons are rampaging, and they are stuck in melee combat with a bunch of stuff. That is pretty good. And a quick Malekith breath attack is actually going to hit multiple war wagon models, and that's pretty cool. But unless you have a soul stealer in that back pocket, you need to get the fuck out of here, dude. Why are you still here? There's a soul stealer. It's going to hit 3 war wagons. That'll be a really, really nice cast for him and keep him alive through the dark times. Dark Elves have completely overrun the Empire lines. All of them are dead. Sunmaker's dead. Silver Bullets are dead. And even our precious war wagon friends are now dying and gone. Sisters of Slaughter have found Marcus Wolfheart. They are going to chunk the shit out of him because Marcus Wolfheart is strangely tanky to anything over the size of a cow. Anything under the size of a cow, i.e. naked elves with whips, are going to whoop his ass like there's no tomorrow. War wagons are still beating up Malekith, who needs to either get out of here or dive down onto them in melee. One or the other. You need to pick, my friend. But Dark Elves are all of a sudden ahead on the balance of power, and they have just caught up in damage value. Malekith's so low. Malekith's so low. War wagons are still chasing him. There's no one that can save him. He's gonna run. Oh my god! Jesus Christ! That's actually a pretty big problem for the Dark Elves, to be honest. But their infantry might be able to carry it for him. Witch Elves are still doing great work on the front line. Sisters of Slaughter are doing all right. Why are the Sisters of Slaughter not killing this asshole? Hey! Hey! Go kill that one. It's much more important than some Empire Knights. Come on. Come on. Malekith doesn't even have the leadership to rally. Doesn't even have the will to rally. Never mind, he does. He had to 0 just the last second. He needs to get away from the edge of the map, though, because he's so close to routing again for literally no reason that he needs to get away. He does pop stand your ground. He's going to fly away. Good for him. Dark Elves take the lead once again. Now they know Malekith's not going to run off the battlefield like a little monster. And 2 Sister Slaughter units are almost done taking out Marcus Wolfheart. Bleak Sword should probably get the fuck out of here, because it's just blocking better units from getting their jobs done. Dark Riders trying to fight War Wagons, but the 90 armor of the War Wagons will keep them safe from the little Dark Riders, and their War Wagon friends will use their ammunition to peel off the buddies. Are you saying Wolfheart has a weakness for nasty leathered ladies with whips? I agree with McRightface. Who doesn't? They're still worthless in melee combat as anything other than a blocker. I can assure you that any pill a Dark Elf takes would not be a chill pill. You know what? You win that one too. Wolfheart's routing. The entire Empire force is routing. We have 2 War Wagons that are still in the game. We have a Life Wizard and 1 Empire Knight, but that is just not enough Imperials. We see the Dark Elves take a pretty significant lead, and they are going to win this one. Too many ranged units. Just too many. Just a couple too many. Probably cut the Silver Bullets, honestly, out of all of them. Sunmaker was doing all right. War wagons dealt with everything the silver bullets could have tried to deal with. Cut the silver bullets, get 2 swordsmen, and you probably would have won this game. You just need more boys. Take it from the Greenskins, get more boys. Orc boys, gobble boys, orc bull boy biggins. Bull boys, savage orc bull boy biggins, savage orc boy biggins, savage bork boy pork bork, bacon bork. Malekith faces his most feared foe, a war wagon, and he fucking dies! Jesus Christ! Turn off the fucking paintbrush! There we go. Oh my god! 2,000 value on this fucking war wagon! Jesus Christ. Oh boy. Man, if you're Dark Elves these days, you need to bring some Dark Shards or some Shades or something. Because Shades and Dark Shards can really fuck up war wagons, but as we saw, if you don't fuck them up, they'll apparently just straight up murder Malekith. That is insane value. That's actually nutty. Anyway, as long as the Dark Elves don't blob up for horrific Dwellers Below, they have got this. War wagons are running out of ammo. In fact, this one has 3 shots, the other one is out of ammo. In melee combat, they're complete pansies, and so is the Jade Wizard. So as long as you don't blob up for Dwellers Below, you're gonna be fine. If you do blob up for Dwellers Below, yeah, you might be fucked. Black Orc Corsairs with the handbows firing in point blank range, and they rampage the Jade Wizard back into them, so you can't even cast Dwellers Below right now if you wanted to. That will not be a problem as he gets close to breaking. War Wagon's also close to breaking, but the War Wagons are blobbing up. They're forming the dreaded blob. Please don't follow them. Not like this, Shogunnik. What if a Dwellers happens, my friend? What if a Dwellers happens? There's like nothing else on the field. So actually, yeah, if a Dwellers happens like right here, as soon as that rampage wears off, that could be a disaster. But army loss is going to hit before that's going to happen, right? He's on rampage. Does he have the mana? Nope. You don't cast Earthblood if you have the mana there. And that's GG. Dark Shard is like one of the best units for cost in the game. Agreed. They're pretty good. Jesus Christ. I like all these guys just stand up after getting run over. It did so little damage that they didn't lose any models, but it just looks funny to see them like get fucking run over and then just stand up pretty soon afterwards. Well, anyway, back up. Army losses, are you on drugs right now? This is over. Okay. Sorry, I was just typing out to our next game. Somehow army losses still hasn't happened. There we go. I like the little guys out of ammo in the wagons just being battle tourists now. Yeah, they can go home to Karl Franz and feel good about their contributions. They're like, you know what? I did it. I did what I needed to. Malekith, only 1,000 value. That's a new all-time low for him. Sisters of Slaughter did well. Coldland Knights got Dwellers Below and murdered. Witch Elves did well if you combine them. Black Arc Corsairs with handbows actually did surprisingly great, so maybe they're just OP. Good for them. And then Dark Riders did fine, but yeah, apparently these little guys are the carries we needed. Wolfheart didn't do much. He used 2 nets and shot some shots. Sunmaker did fine, even getting compromised with plenty of ammo left. It still almost paid for itself. I mean, like 2 more volleys would have done it. Silver Bullets did all right, but I think they probably should have been cut. War Wagons, except for the one got murdered right away, did great. Empire Knights did fine, and Spearmen were there were just too many naked women, and that's a sentence I have to say out loud a lot to a lot of people. There were just too many naked women. There just were. I played that one bad. Wagon's OP, though. Wagon's OP. Handbows do have a massive boost to their AP damage. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make them pretty good. Looks like builds are wrapping up here. Dark Elves feel very strong. Naked Woman OP. Clearly Shogunnic. Yeah, Dark Elves do feel strong. I still think they're pretty heavily carried by their overbalanced lords, but they got some pretty good buffs in other places. Which Elf Sisters slaughter good naked ladies? When will the ward dancers join them? Fucking never, bro. We have Bretonnia versus Tzeentch. I don't know if I've ever seen this matchup. I don't know. We have Bretonnia versus Tzeentch. I don't know if I've ever... I have a hard time telling you guys, with the audio, is it just me, like, talking, or can you guys hear the game at all? Because I do want it to be, like... I want there to be other noise besides just me, but not so loud that you can't tell which is which. But sometimes I feel like there's, like, no sound going on. I feel like Bretonnia is going to get absolutely demolished. Don't doubt the noble sons and daughters of Bretonnia. Also, this is the fucking Lost Crater. Hold on, that's Lost Crater. That's just Lost Crater right there. That's Lost Crater. That's the map, 100%. Did CA make all of their Tomb Kings maps in the same, like, little area? There's that fucking ridge. This is the single ridge map. I don't know what this is. It's probably another one, honestly. Yes, actually I know that map too. I think that's Vulture Ridge. I don't remember what one that is. Then this is apparently Valley of Thieves, and that is Lost Crater. Holy crap. We found it, boys. And girls. Gender neutral, boys. Humor just fill in the quiet moments with some beatboxing. True. Executioner's straight up better. Poor Wood Elves. When we good, we can hear the game. Okay, good. Lost Crater is such crap. They actually did smart, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, it's smart. It's just funny to see it. All right, builds. Now that they've been set up and I stalled for enough time. I haven't gotten the pleasure of seeing Alea play, but he has been playing a shit ton of Vermin League. He's been in a lot of tournaments. Unfortunately, he gets knocked out quite early, so I think he is a relatively newer player. I don't know, but he seems like a very nice individual. In the Pods games, he never gave up, even after he was mathematically eliminated, which I appreciate. Some people, which is like, you know, I don't want to flame him, but some people, you know, it's like, well, I can't win, so why bother playing? And it's like, well, because the other people still want to play, but... he was a real good sport about it, just kept playing even though he was losing, so. I'm a fan. Much as I say that, and then like it just turns out to be a massive asshole. Like he's flaming people in chat or something, and I just had no idea. But, I don't know. He's been nice to me. Regardless. We have Peasant Bowman, Pox Arrows, and Peasant Bowman. Pretty good combination of stuff. No reason to take fire damage versus Tzeentch, I guess. He doesn't do a ton of healing. And it's not like they're magic damage or anything. We have 3 Knights of the Realm and 1 Questing Knight for some armor piercing. That is also quite nice. Damsel of Life with Dweller Below and basic healing. Then we have King Lewin, and we have Henri le Massif in the sky. Henri did not bring Guardian, that little biscuit, but ooh, that's actually super smart. I didn't even think of that. Guardian's physical resist, which Tzeentch literally has no units that don't do magic damage. That is so smart. All right, you win this round, Alea, because I wouldn't have remembered that. On the other side for Mr. Teufel, we have 2 Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, it looks like. 2 Chaos Knights with Tzeentch with lances, a front line of Marauders of Tzeentch with spears. Then we have some Blue Horrors and Chaos Warriors with halberds. We have Village the Curseling with only blue fire, and we have a Cultist of Tzeentch with Fireball, Gate of Tzeentch, and Piercing Bolts of Burning. Okay, That's interesting. Ooh, this is looking like a pretty big mistake from Alea. He does dive in to stop the blue horrors from shooting. Blue horrors are more like miners with blasting charges, so it doesn't matter if they don't fire for a little bit. And the Lewin's going to get caught up by the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, but a nice countercharge from the Knights of the Realm takes out their shields, and they are going to pull away before taking too much damage while also saving their lords. That was pretty clutch of those Knights of the Realm to really get Lewin out of a bad scenario. On the other side, we have more Knights of the Realm that are charging into other Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and Marauders of Spears. They are not having a good time at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Meanwhile, blue horrors are getting shot by peasant archers. This is a good way of dealing with blue horrors. They don't like getting shot so much at all. Cultists of Tzeentch is landed on by Henri Le Massif, but it does not look like he will get too much damage value out there. And it looks like these Knights of the Realm got maybe blue fired or something while we weren't looking, but they were also fighting Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with halberds, so not having a great time there at all either. Lots of not great times had. Looks like these questing knights have been forgotten for a moment. They are now activated to potentially bail out some archers, but we do have 2 marauder horsemen all coming in to rear charge some peasant bowmen, so those peasant bowmen are not long for this world. Henri gets tackled by Chaos Knights of Tzeentch with lances. He's also going to have a hard time getting out of here, and it looks like we have some men-at-arms, polearms fighting Village the Curseling for a little bit, but the archers going down is going to be a bit of a problem. The questing knights getting activated a little late is also going to be a problem for Bretonnia. And a Dwellers Below cast is used on the blue horrors of Tzeentch and not this blob. Oh, that is a mistake. That is a mistake that Alea will want back, unfortunately. That could have been pretty clutch. Catching a knight and a full health spear unit and bailing out Henri all in one cast. That would have been pretty glorious. Some questing knights are stuck in a blue horror fight. And what is going to kill those halberds? I don't know. We do have some archers left. And these ones are routing, but they will come back as long as they're protected in some way. These Knights of the Realm are fighting the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch with lances, though, and they are not winning that fight, even 2v1. It's just 110 armor is way too much to want. Even though they're getting affected by their own Warp Flame, 100 armor is still a lot for Knights of the Realm to bypass, so they're going to opt out of that one. And Henri is thinking about getting involved, but he shouldn't. He is going to dive onto some skirmish cav and keep them from throwing for a little bit, but still, it is tough. Bretonnia has secured their backline somewhat. We should have our 3rd archer rallying in no time at all. Questing Knights could psychocharge Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch while getting in some arrow shots or something. And Lewin is alive, which he should definitely not land over here again, I don't think. And Henri needs to come back home for some healing. But Bretonnia does need to rally around their archers and let the archers try and carry this game, but the balance of power is looking pretty bad, and I would also agree. These Questing Knights cannot be forgotten! They cannot be! Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch are going to charge them. All right, good. They're moving. They're getting out of the way. Looks like some men-at-arms will take their place, which is fair. If Lewin and Henri can get out of here, they might want to go snipe Village while he's all the way over there on his own. If you have another Dwellers Below cast, that could be pretty good, or just rear charging with the Chaos Knights. Not the Chaos Knights, the Questing Knights. The exact opposite of Chaos Knights. It does not look like these halberds are being paid too much attention to, and the peasant bowmen are just trying to desperately run away from them. But again, the skirmish cav are coming back to compromise those little peasant bows. Henri doing surprisingly good work on the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. After getting effective psycho charges, he is going to retreat now. He needs some healing support of some kind. We have some more Knights of the Realm charging in to help Lewin out with these Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. Maybe the Questing Knights will get involved too with their actual armor-piercing values. I don't know. They kind of need to make up their mind. They've been running around for a little bit, not quite sure where they want it to end up, and it is costing them dearly as they are not protecting the archers, which is a choice you can make, but then they need to charge these knights, they need to charge the Chaos Warriors, they need to do something. Blue fire plus a fireball plus a bolt of change, taking the damsel from full health to about 1/4 left. She is going to use her precious healing on the Knights of the Realm, and a piercing bolts of burning is going to just destroy those Questing Knights. They did not enjoy that whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are also getting bodied by these Questing Knights. You can see they, instead of the Knights of the Realm, do actually excellently versus these Chaos Knights. Because Chaos Knights don't have incredible stats, mostly relying on their armor to stay tanky. And Questing Knights have arm piercing, so good for them. Balance power is coming back towards the middle, and I would tend to agree these Questing Knights have done some serious work and gotten Bretonnia back in this game. Henri and Lewin could fight Village pretty nicely, could fight the Cultists pretty nicely, all these things. They are about to lose their last archer, but if you really look at what Tzeentch has, we have 1 halberd, 1 spear, half of a spear, and then 2 skirmish cav that are out of ammo for their troops that aren't their lord, so I think if we have any Winds of Magic left, it should go into either healing Enry and your knights, or maybe a Dwellers on the Chaos Warrior, but I'd probably still just heal your Lord and Knights. I don't know. Tzeentch is still definitely favored, but Bretonnia ain't out of gas just yet. They can't sit and fight Village, though. Those Knights can't do that. For sure, that would be a mistake. Looks like Mr. Teufel has just moved his cultists of Tzeentch to stand in the middle of these halberds so he doesn't get sniped out, and Village is opting anybody to fight him. He's like, come on, do it. Do it, you coward. Because I think he's fully charged up, isn't he? They didn't even bring that item? I love that item, where he gets more charged up when he fights random shit. God damn it. Because he would have like 65 stats right now. That'd be insane. Man, this sucks now. I don't even want to cast this game anymore. My favorite ability isn't getting used. We do have archers that are back once again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. They probably need to shoot over at these Chaos Warriors because they aren't going to outrun them for very long. Not at all. Enry is chasing off some knights, some other routing units. Bretonnia is really just cleaning up what it can and charging up some winds of magic. We have more archers! Yet again! They should just fire, because if they run away, they will get run down by these horses, guaranteed. Oh, that's a full spear unit. Okay, that's a little scary. Enry, you have been forgotten. You have been lost. You must come home. It's like a desert arena for anime tournament, true. Henry Le Massif is actually pronounced Big Hank. I forgot that. Later, Zep. Hi, Matthew. Matthew, did you see that you and Goldenfloof are up next? Not after this game, after the next game. But, yeah. Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch do pile in with their full shields, and now they're just taking no damage as these knights are trying to path their way out of here, but they're not quite working. Peasant archers did get run down at last. These other peasant archers are still firing at Chaos Warriors, getting a little bit of poke and chip damage before they also get run down. Can Lewin kill Village? Can this lady cast a spell? Can Henry return from the Shadow Realm? This and more on the next episode of Dragon Ball Bretonnia Tzeentch Fight Club. Mel Gibson. Hangry GF is a dangerous beast. I swear Grace is permanently hangry. It's just her state of being. I love Grace, but she is permanently hangry. Happy to play a game, as my name states, but happy to give some content. True. There's the Dwellers below on that full health Chaos Warriors with Halberd. They're trying to get out of it, but they will take a significant amount of damage. But Village is going to slap this damsel into the dirt. She's running, she's trying, she's doing her very best, but it's not going to be enough. And the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch do manage to escape with half HP, which is, you know, some. Can Lewin solo carry? I think not. I generally think Lewin is crap. Hey guys, Lewin has been fighting all game, random targets. He's been doing his absolute best. He has 500 value. Can we admit he's shit or what? Or what, community? What? And some of you are gonna be like, well, in certain situations, no, bullshit. He never gets his value back. He never gets his value back. He's garbage. He is absolute garbage. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know who hurt him, but he's dog shit. Stop taking Lewin. But Human, no, stop taking him. But Human Boy, you're not being very fair. Fuck Lewin. Fuck Lewin in particular. That's why I've been taking Alberic's. At least Alberic gives everybody a round of anti-large, and even Alberic sucks. But Human Boy, what about, no. You're wrong. I'm right. Always. You're not allowed to have an opinion. My opinion is superior. No. Jokes aside, if you like Lewin, take Lewin. But I have noticed this phenomena, the same as Cetra the Imperishable. I just feel like for some reason they like never get damage value. I don't know why. Like Lewin's been fighting all game and he's just getting like no value. Her name is Grace after all. God. Lewin just needs to be in combat and uses regen ability. Felt like he played really safe here, maybe. Who is best, Lewin or Cetra? Cetra is better than Lewin. I would say that for sure. Lewin's tanky, but like to what end? Because he's like 2,000 plus gold to be tanky. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. It's like budget Malice, send it in and let it take damage. Lewin requires a lot of micro. Yeah. Like, that's just my opinion, is I don't think he's worth it. I played it up for entertainment value and memery, but like the real answer is I understand why some people like Lewin, and I personally just don't think he's worth it. Know who doesn't require micro and gets double his value almost every game? Wink. Is it Thoric? Bingo, King Lewin and Cetra 3,000 plus. We'd be here all day. You stream for another couple of hours, Guillaume? I don't know. Probably not another couple of hours, but I will stream a second stream tonight for the bingo thing people did. Best adult dating site? Fuck yeah. That's my I deleted it. Whoops, I meant to click on it. Anyway, Bretonia's just been chasing off some stuff. Lewin's been healing. But now they will have to commit, and there is so much left. That is a full Chaos Warrior of Halberds! Where have you been? Okay, this is fucked. This isn't gonna happen. This balance of power is drunk as hell. No balance of power. You're wrong. You are just wrong. How is this going to work? However, could Bretonnia win this game? How are you not army lossing right now? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to kill this thing? Answer me, goddammit, you stupid green and red bar. The fuck is this? The fuck is this shit? Army loss him. You have 2 caster lords. You love casters. I know, because you hate corn. You love casters. How are you like, yeah, 2 full health caster lords. Village is chilling. Full health halberd over here. All these infantry. It could happen. It can't happen. It can't happen. We love Alea. We love Alea in this house, but this ain't happening. Lewin is getting his ass handed to him by a village. This ain't happening. Army losses. Get serious. Get serious with me right now. Thank you. It's because Louis is so strong. Lewin's so strong, he got his ass handed to him by a hybrid caster. He's so good. I fucking hate Lewin, dude. I hate Lewin so much. Almost 600 value in a 12-minute game. Almost. Henry, too, dude. 350. Oh, my God. Caster got almost more than these 2 combined. Knights of the Realm did all right in the end. Quest Knights did okay. Peasant Archers did all right. They didn't get defended too much, so they got shut down. Peasants did peasant things. Village did well. Basic Caster actually did pretty well, too. Chaos Knights did excellently. Halberds were there. Marauder Horsemen did great. Spearmen did pretty well. Ooh, yeah, pretty well on one of them. Blue Horse did all right. That is what we call a GG. They can go again if they're up for it. If not, they can vacate and we can let Matthew and Golden Foof play. Either is fine with me. Lewin and Henry. I just don't know if Lewin is good in general. I think he needs more splash damage. I think that is one of his biggest problems. Because, like, someone said he was playing rather passive, and I don't know if that's true. Lewin was in there, man. He dove on some blue horrors right away. Then he needed some help getting out of Chaos Knights. Then he fought other Chaos Knights for a while. Then he cycle charged the Footcaster for a while. Then he charged Village for a hot second. Then he fought some Chaos Knights. Then he ran over and fought some Skirmish Cav. Then he fought some more Chaos Knights. Then he fought some Halberds. And then, like, the game ended eventually. Like, I don't know, man. I felt like Lewin was constantly fighting. He just wouldn't kill anything. Malekith on Dragon requires micro, otherwise he'll die fast. He's a Footlord in 2 rosters. I didn't bring items on Village because he was supposed to sit in a blob fight and region barrier while Fire Mage throws melee buffs across the map. Yeah. I don't know. I think Lewin and Henry would be good if they could hit foot characters, but they have that problem with, as most people do in this game, where like foot characters are just beyond their capacity to do damage to for some reason. Because, like, on paper, Alea had some good plays. They just didn't result in anything. Like, aha, the Cultist of Tzeentch is caught out. Bump, knock him really far away. And then Lewin runs up. And then he misses. And then he misses. And then Alea has to fly away. Or Henry solos out the Cultist at one point. Bump. And then he misses. And then the Cultist summons a pink horror and some Chaos Knights come and Henry has to leave. And it's just like, these should be good plays, but they just don't work for some reason. Because of that weird thing where foot characters are invincible. Like, I get it. And Alea had mistakes, like the Questing Knights chilling for too long. That sort of thing. But he picked some really good engagements that he just didn't get anything out of because his characters, for some reason, didn't know how to swing their swords. So that part's unfortunate, and that part's frustrating. And I'm sure he feels frustrated, but I feel frustrated for him because it's like, hey, nice, the cultist was left all alone with no one protecting him. You dove on him. And you got literally nothing for it because foot character. Like, I don't know. That one sucks. I really liked his questing knight usage once they joined the fight. I think they were held in reserve for a little too long, but once he joined the fight with them, he used his questing knights pretty well. They wrecked some Chaos Knights very, very nicely. Stayed away from the halberds and such. But his Lord and Hero were like 4,000 combined gold. That just didn't do much. It fucking sucks. Slaanesh versus Greenskins? Toyful! Toyful! Why would you do this? How dare you counter this man? He just wants to play some Greenskins. What up, Danilo? Kupnvotsky. Man, I am gonna butcher that name. Anyway, what's up? Not much. Just playing some land battles. Chilling. Vibing. Are you casting the tournament I am in, by the way? Also, random question. You're interested in playing Tabletop Simulator? We've been waiting to get someone to play Bolt Action with. I've never heard of Bolt Action. And I am casting the tournament tomorrow night, yes. It is a counter? I had no idea. Oh, yeah. No, Slaanesh abuses Greenskins really hard because of their low leadership. I would not recommend playing that. Alright. Let's see what he's got for the green beans. The greenest, beanest boys in the whole greenest, beanest world. Matthew and who? God damn it. I just had this. Matthew and Goldenfloof. It's World War II tabletop, very simple roles. Oh. That could be interesting. Could be. Matchup discussions popping off. Oy. You keep butchering my name every stream. Well, I'm not shocked. I'm not super good at pronouncing names in general. And that is a long name. Do you play much, our new friend? Or do you do campaign mostly? Or just neither? So now we have this matchup. And then we had one more. So 3 games left-ish. And then we'll have done about a 3-hour stream, which isn't bad. Maybe I'll play some games. Maybe I'll just end it and have another stream tonight. Danilo Kupnavitsky. Danilo Kupnavitsky. Is that correct? Mr. Teufel, change the faction color, please. No! I actually am really partial to the green and purple Skaven. I think they're interesting. Though their flag is dark on dark, so it's hard to tell what the symbol is, but I think it's just the basic Skaven symbol. First the build, then the colors? I want to like Clan Scryer's color scheme more than I do, but it's just like, it's very white. Alea's thinking on it. No instead of nah. Okay, so it's Danilo Kupnovetsky. Danilo Kupnovetsky. Okay, alright. We got it forever. We're never gonna fuck it up again. Never. And if I do, I will shut this channel down.
This will not be tolerated.
We gotta build. We have Grimgor, by the way. Grimgor versus Ikit. Ikit Claw. Infernal weapons. It's funny, but I think the impression that I do that is actually closest to his real character is probably Throt, and Throt is my least favorite Skaven character. Like, thematically, he's just not my favorite. Just a big fat rat making other big fat rats. Uh-oh. That seems excessive. No! No. It's only just. It was also a joke. I don't know how to shut this channel down. At this point, it has a mind of its own. I can't do anything about it.
Wolf Riders.
Ready up. Do it. Do it, you coward. I assume you could also call him Danila, which is a diminutive version of Danila. Well, that doesn't seem very nice. I'm not gonna do that. If anything, I'll call him Big Fancy Dr. D. What about Sigmar? How do you feel about the nickname Sigmar? That has nothing to do with you. But we can just all be confusing for a while. Alright, we're getting into game. Grimgor Ironhide versus Ikit Claw. And you're Ukrainian? Well, good sir, with everything going on in the world right now, I hope you are safe wherever you are located right now. I hope you are safe and have running water and electricity. Which, before somebody comments and says, like, he's watching the stream, must have electricity. Phones exist, god damn it. I don't know. I think we had some friends in the Warhammer community, and if they're embarrassed about it, I don't want to name them, but we had some people that when the conflict broke out, you know, had some issues, had to become refugees for a bit, and they talked to me a little bit about it and helped them through some things, so, you know. Real shit happens, man. Real shit happens. Grugny is better. Grimgor and no spiders, this guy has balls. It's hard for me to tell with Slavic languages because some Japanese, they all sound the same to me. I clearly struggle with pronunciation, so I feel you a little bit there. I technically speak a bit of German. I took 5 years of it in school, and then I lived there for a month, but it's not fluent. I'm in Estonia at the moment. Fair enough. Well, hopefully you are doing well. Sounds like you're doing all right. Okay, what the frick are we doing in this game? Skaven are still setting up, so I'll let them do that. Greenskins, big skirmish corps, including the Death Creepers and 4 Wolf Riders. Death Creepers are the Spider Riders with regen. We have some Orc Boys, 2 Stone Trolls, more Orc Boys, Goblins in the front line. Night Goblin Archers. It doesn't look like they have the Fanatics, but it's really hard to tell. I remember that being bugged before. 1 Orc Biggin. We do have Grimgor Ironhide, and he is way smaller than this River Troll Hag. Holy crap. I never realized that. He's big for an Orc, but damn, she is huge. She has just Spirit Leech or Vomit and Mither. Spirit Leech is excellent against Skaven. Excellent, excellent. There's almost no bad targets. Ooh, and an Orc Boar Chariot. That'll be alright. It'll probably get shut down by Rat Ogres, but as we've talked about ad nauseum today, Chariots are more just about disruption and stopping the enemy from hurting you, rather than they themselves getting a ton of stuff done. On the other side for the Skaven, they are now more set up, so it's a little easier to talk about them. We have a Skaven Slave front line, Skaven Slave sides. We have the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters, 2 Skaven Slave Slingers. We do have 2 Poison Wind Globes, 1 Plague Claw Catapult, a Warp Grinder to net down some targets, triple Rat Ogres, one of which is the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep. We do have a Plague Priest with Summon and Pestilent Breath. That's the bound one. So he just has the Summon and then the Plague Bell. An Assassin with all of his gear, and Ikat Claw with unlimited power, which I don't like this. It does give you a lot of Winds of Magic back, but it also has a risk of hurting Ikat Claw, who has no healing, so I don't think that's worth it. And Storm Demon, which is really good against Ground the Punch, so I do like that one a lot. Warp Lightning and Brass Orb. Overall, it's fine. I think Teufel has the same problem we noted in... Actually, Teufel wasn't in that game. It was about Zap, but I think the same things apply. I think this build is too much ranged and too little to defend it. I get worried, because this is a single layer of defense, and it's Skaven Slaves. They are gonna die fast. So, I'm scared. But yeah, that was Zep who did it. I shouldn't accidentally accuse Mr. Teufel of making the same mistake twice. That's my bad, but yeah. Ikat Claw! Go Orcs, go Rats. That's fair. What's the best bug you've ever seen? Doggo? Doggo, come back! I'll bring the Doggo back in the next build phase. Best bug I've ever seen was a Hell Cannon shot doing a literal 360 midair to chase someone down. And chase them down it did, and it eventually hit the Dragon Lord it was chasing. That was pretty great. Alright. Plague Claw Catapults are firing into a clump here of Night Goblin Archers and Orc Boys. That is some 2-for-1 value, getting a good little bit of poke there, but Plague Claw Catapults don't actually do that much damage. It's more their leadership debuff and the constant pressure that you want, so I'm not shocked that it wasn't like, wow, they all died, that's crazy. It's like, no, just pokes them over time. Stone Trolls are in the fight. They did get a little bit ahead of their Goblins, so they'll want to be careful about that. It is something you have to be careful of. I noted it in my How to Play Rush Factions video, but you do need to space your people accordingly so that everybody arrives at roughly the same time, meaning that slower units need to be further ahead of faster units so that they eventually show up. Now, the Stone Trolls did block up some of these Slingers, but they're currently getting Poison Winded, and they have Rat Ogres charging them, so they will be soon running. We can see the other Stone Trolls are running, so those are some pretty big losses. Meanwhile, the Skirmish Cav is getting involved. It looks like Mr. Teufel has not quite given orders to his Rat Ogres yet, but one Goblin Wolf Chariot is outside of the net center, so they didn't get actually netted. They could move if they wanted to, it appears, and the Skirmish Cav are doing pretty good damage versus Rat Ogres, which they could actually just charge through these Warp Grinders and hit the Plague Claw Catapult if they so wished. Frontline for the Greenskins has been a little stalled up. A Brass Orb is absolutely butchering. That is just a pile of blood. That is a pile of blood on those Night Goblin Archers. Oof. But Orc Biggins and Orc Boys have been forgotten briefly, and they are now getting involved in the fight. Grimgor is losing a very, very pitched battle here with an Assassin. I wonder if he got shot on the way in or something, but yeah, he's not having a great time. Oh, God! He took out a quarter of that man's health! Oh, my God! Jesus Christ! He's just killing him! Oh, no! Oh, my God, the Assassin's, like, dead. Jeez. We saw him for, like, a second. All right, this is going pretty well. Boom, dead! Oh, that was fun. All right, Ikat Claw's zapping him. He even used the Ikat Zap Stick. I forgot what it's called, honestly. Storm Demon, that one. Use Storm Demon on Grigor. Grigor's now working on the Plague Priest. Plague Claw Catapult is firing at the River Troll Hag, who's currently mucking up the Natty Booba Sharpshooters. Grimgor is kicking the shit out of a Plague Priest now. He's like, next, let's go. These archers have been left out of range for a little bit. They need to get recommitted onto these clan rats or onto something. They just need to shoot something, probably rat ogres. Meanwhile, there's a big surround over here that's going okay. Balance of power is about even, and I would tend to agree. Warp Grinders have another net down onto these orc boar chariots, but looks like the boar chariots are doing all right. And Grimgor plus the River Troll Hag just demolished that Plague Priest. The boy is going for it. Go, Grimgor, go! Fucking get him! And get him he does! Look at him go! Look at him, he's just having the time of his life. Look at him, just enjoying the moment. No cell phones in sight. Ah, that's a good meme. All right, the Greenskins round over here did get through. Poison Wind Globes are routing off, so are Rat Ogres. Ikit Claw ain't going nowhere, and he is going to actually Brass Orb a big clump of Greenskins and tear it off the Stone Trolls. That is very, very nice. And Grimgor is still trying to chase that fucking Plague Priest. Now the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep might want to have a word with him. So that's cool. More Stone Trolls are charging over here, where there are some very, very low leadership Skaven units, and they'll probably be running for the hills soon. Now, this is a problem. The damage value for the Greenskins is up over the Skaven, which is not what you want to see. A Skaven, you're used to getting an extreme lead on the balance, the damage value and the balance of power, and then holding on to it. You're not used to being behind. So the fact that the balance of power is even and the damage value is actually Greenskin favored is not a great spot for the Skaven to be at in this moment. Nanbooba Sharpshooters are starting to run away. I wonder if they get a Spirit Leech cast onto them or something, but actually, yeah, this is really good target prioritization from Alea here. Ikit Claw is pretty vulnerable to Spirit Leeches. Since he's so mobile, it's important to get whatever damage onto him that you can, and these Spider Riders are going to sweep up the Natty Boobos. A couple mistakes of blobs or forgetting units from Alea, but his target priority is really good. I think that's also what we saw in the Bretonnian game, is that he had Lewin, and again, a blob is getting 2-for-1 punish. So yeah, I think that is a good overarching theme for him. He picks the correct fights. He just sometimes makes mistakes about like positioning or blobbing or forgetting units for a little bit. But like Enri and Lewin last game got some good picks. They just couldn't capitalize on it, right? Grimgor has been targeting all the right fucking things, and then when he got surrounded by ROR Rat Ogres, he ran away, which was very nice. His archers seem to be shooting the right thing. His skirmish cav are always charging the right things. Like, I really like the engagements he picks. He just needs to work on not forgetting things occasionally. But I think that is a good strength of Alea's, is he picks a lot of winning fights when he decides them. And Grimgor is still out here kicking ass, though I don't know if he'll be able to finish off the Plague Priest. 36 speed compared to 38. Oh, technically Grimgor could catch him until the poison wears off. Can you do it, Grimmy? Plague Claw Catapult's trying to head for the hills, I guess, but I don't know where it's going to go. Pretty big fan of cicadas. Yeah, that's good. Bro moment, Grimgord hard carry. He really is. Now Ikit Claw is getting still Spirit Leeched. He's now surrounded by stuff, but Grimgor's here! Your next is cast on him. Ikit has 0 melee defense, 0 melee attack. He desperately tries to use the Warp Lightning to get himself out of trouble, but he is going to rout. Grimgor is still trying to stab him, trying to stop him, but he is rolling away on his stupid little Git Doom Wheel. And Spider Riders are chasing out the Plague Priest, who rallies in their face, only to shatter a moment later as Army Losses comes in. And the biggest, the best, the better than the rest, Grimgor! I am so curious about his value. That was nuts. 0 kills, 2,300 value. 0 kills. Hey, Uglug, how many people did you kill? I killed 5. Hey, Smugglug, how many people did you kill? I killed 10. Hey, Grimgor, how many did you kill? 0. What? But you was fighting the whole time. I didn't kill anybody. I just beat him up real bad. Alright, Skirmish Cav did fine. River Troll Hag did excellently. Grimgor did excellently. Stone Trolls did okay. And the rest kind of underperformed. Ikit did great. Plague Priest didn't get to do much. Nabo Sharpshooters did fine. Rat Ogres got mostly... Yeah, they did alright. They did alright. Plague Claw almost paid for itself, which is pretty good. Assassin got murdered by Grimgor. Just absolutely put in the dirt. Poison Globes did fine. Slingers and Skaven slaves all died. What up, Knighthood? How you doing? How you doing? All right. Matthew B. Game's up. Spectate. 1, 2, 3. This low leadership still bothers me, Mr. Toyful. Are you talking about, like, Skaven low leadership? Are you talking about low leadership factions in general, or what are you talking about? He almost got a kill. In spirit, he got a kill, but technically, no, he didn't kill anybody. My favorite moment was definitely when we were looking around and Grimgor was at like half HP in combat with a full health assassin. And I was like, oh, this is actually not going that well for him. And then it was just hit, dead. You, hit, routes. You, hit. All right, game's over. It was like, oh my fucking God. Grimgor, calm down. Skaven specific, the lowest low leadership. Yeah, they're pretty low. All right, somebody requested puppy.
Hi, puppy. Hi. Hello. No, you disconnected my camera. No, puppy. Ah! Hi, pup. Hi. This is pup. She is good pup. Oh, we loves her. Yes, we do. She likes wrestling and treats. Do you like wrestling and treats? She does. Do you like wrestling and treats? She says yes. Say hi to the peoples. Say hi to the peoples, little puppy. Oh, big stretch. High five. Ooh. This is the Hazel. She has a good home. We loves her. Oh, big yawn. Oh no. You fell down. You stretched too close to the sun. Oh. That's a good pup.
Okay, looks like the right microphone's still selected. Gold the Floof saying, what a good floof. She is a good floof. As what it says in the Art of War, the best way to defeat your enemy is to beat the snot out of him, but not kill him, so you can beat the snot out of him again later. That was pretty good 3. I like that. Floof for the Floof God. Hi, puppy. Hi. Thank you for yawning in my face with your stinky puppy breath. Thank you for yawning in my face with your stinky puppy breath. It's stinky. It's stinky. Did you brush your teeth last night? You didn't. You don't know how. We can teach you how. You're almost 2. You should know how to brush your own teeth by now. You're a 2-year-old puppy. In dog years, that's like 57. You should be running a bank. Do you run a bank? All right, let's focus. I mean, if you could get high value on targets, you wreck almost anything. You use Torok's Mask, Grimmer would be the best. Yeah. Okay, Kislev. I swear to God, if this is Charter. Hello? Alright. Spam call. Anyway, Kislev versus Skaven. I haven't gotten to play this matchup a whole lot, but it does seem on paper to be Skaven favored, and the one time I did play it, it was a blowout, and my opponent said, well, fuck that, and I said, yep. So we have double Little Grom, we have Boris Ursus on his bear, we have a Frost Maiden of Ice on a horse with Ice Maiden's Kiss and Heart of Winter. We do have a Patriarch on his bear with the healing and the buffy buffs. We have 2 heavy war sleds I thought I saw, but one of them is missing in action now. Guess just 1 heavy war sled. Armored Cossars, and then a shitload of regular Cossars. Okay. For the Skavinos, we have double Rat Ogre on each side, so 4 total. We do have a Hell Pit Abomination. We have Lord Skrauk, an Assassin, a Warlock Engineer, with Flensing Ruin to discourage the Bear Blob. I do like that. We have the Council Guard. Looks like 3 globes, A bunch of Skaven slave spears, clan rat spears, and etc. Okay. Kislev build's fine. I think the double Little Groms are okay. I don't really like the 2 bear characters in this matchup. I think they're too susceptible to just getting shot to death. So I'd probably cut them. Just have a caster lord, and then go super wide with your army and try to like run down the Skaven with Kislevite dervishes because they're cheap, unbreakable cav that can really fuck up the Poisoned Globes. I like the double Little Grom. That's creative and unique, but I really don't see what Boris and Patriarch are going to do, personally. So, there's that. For the Skaven build, I think we're missing Jezzails. In this matchup, Jezzails are so good, just so goddamn good, that not seeing them really just fills me with terror and fear. See, I'd find space for Jezzails, probably cut the Council Guard. I don't love the Council Guard in this matchup, except for against the Bear Blob, but you're already preparing for the Bear Blob with Cleansing Ruin, Lyra Bonicus, and Rod of Corruption, and a Hell Pit. You don't really also need a Council Guard. Regardless, throwing Poison Globes at Chariots is almost never worth it. It won't do a lot of damage, and you can see it does more damage to your own Skaven slaves than it does to the other things. Globes are almost in range. Hell Pit fell a little bit behind, but he's figuring it out. He's catching it up. He's a good boy. Globes, it is time to do your stuff. It is time to throw. I love how some of them curve to specifically hit the Skaven Slave Spears that are already running. It's just so cruel. Ice Maiden's Kiss did come through, hitting some Skaven Slave Spears, and they are already going to rout. Poison Globes are in range, though. They're throwing their deadly, deadly poisons into the Kislevites. Yes, yes. This one's running off for, I don't know what reason. He's just backing off for a little bit. And Hell Pit is here, ready to fuck up this Patriarch with only 35 melee defense. Will you swing or will you do dumb Hell Pit things? Dumb Hell Pit things it is. We do have 1,000,000 arrows raining in on this area, but that guy is mega fucked. He is sitting here with 11 melee defense in halberds, in giant monsters, in rat ogres, in just everything. Now, this is probably too many things. Honestly, one of these rat ogres doesn't need to be here and could leave, but oh well, teach their own. Looks like we're popping dueling buffs here. Assassin and Boris are throwing out everything they have. Also, Skrulk chucked out the Rod of Corruption on some single entities, and the Patriarch is dead. Goodbye, little man. Goodbye indeed. So now it's Boris's turn. Hell Pit, go! Go, Hell Pit, go! But again, you don't need this many rat ogres here, like maybe 1 unit most. The other ones should be doing this. Ooh, I like this. The flanking rat ogres do get onto the Little Grom, stopping them from shooting anything. Yes, that is good. I like that. Just quite nice. Then we will have a quick Warp Lightning. Good cast there from Matt. And he flanks Kossars with the Skaven Slave Spears, just trying to stop shooting the rat ogres. Yes, this is very good Skaven play. This is very good Skaven play, except for I would do better. I am best Skaven master. But this is fine. I accept this. Heart of Winter is cast onto the Council Guard. Will they dodge or will they not? It's not overcast, so it won't one-shot them, but it'll probably two-shot them. Boris Ursus is now struggling against an Assassin and the Hell Pit. Skrulk's AoE melee attack debuff is lowering him down to 45, plus the Assassin is occasionally throwing Rival High Talisman or Assassin's Trophy onto him, making this not a good time for Boris Ursus at all. Also, without his Patriarch compatriot, he does not have any healing. Rat Ogres are pushed off of Little Grom before the Little Grom even dies. The other Rat Ogres are going to be pushed off of that Little Grom by the other Little Grom before that Little Grom even dies. Little Grom is wiggling! He's wiggling his way out of a bad situation, but actually that's not helping anybody at all, you fucking abomination of an artillery unit. Boris is still fighting all of these single entities all by himself, and that's not going super great. This guy is still wiggle-stepping his way towards trying to be useful. Wiggle, boy! Wiggle! Wiggle for it! Good God, just turn around! Just turn around! Why won't you do anything? Alright, it turned... No, it hasn't figured it out! He can't do it! He can't do it! He's just wiggling forever. Holy shit, he's doing it! He's doing it! He's turning! Anyway, Little Grom is firing at point blank range. The Assassin has been pushed off. The Hell Pit Abomination is not having a good time, but Boris is dead. And that was great. Step boy R, I'm stuck. Oh my god. Too good. Can you tell which little Grom just decided to not turn around ever? I wonder. Heavy war sleds didn't have too much to do. They could muck up stuff, but they didn't have the killing power, and there were rat ogres all over. I mean, they ended the game with all their models. They were doing okay. Boris did all right. The Patriarch got murked. Now, he did overextend, to be fair, but I still think the Skaven have enough sniping tools to actually take him out anyway. And the Frostmaiden did what she could, but there wasn't too much she could do. Skrulk did all right. Hellput Abomination did excellently. Council Guard also did quite well because the Patriarch stumbled into him with 0 melee defense. Assassin did good for his debuffs, and the Warlock Engineer did great. We have quadruple Rat Ogres who also did well. Globes, 1 did great. The other 2 struggled a little bit, but that's the life. That was really funny. Better title for this stream to get it banned. Massive cannon twerking. It do be twerking, though. All right, last game of the day. High Elves versus, I don't know, something. And then I'll stream later on tonight the bingo thingy. The Bingarino. It is technically bears twerking. I mean, I think spiritually the cannon was doing the twerking. Holy shit. That was good. Does anybody remember Jason Derulo? I was looking for that song that goes like, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I found out it was made by that guy. I was like, oh, fuck. Hey, saw your total title tournament for land battles. Do you ever do domination ones? The times you give are good for me, but I don't like land battles. Ooshgasm? So I don't usually do domination tournaments. I am not that good at domination mode, but also like my viewership falls off a cliff when I do domination. I've given it a couple shots, but my viewership is really bad when I do dom. So it is just a bad idea for me to do that. There is a host. You should talk to Platypus. He is on Turin's server as well. He's a very, very nice gentleman. He streams over on Twitch. He is doing an NA time zone domination tournament soon, but if he knows there's an interest in it, he'll certainly do some more for you. So yeah. Like I don't want to be an asshole and just be like, I won't do that because domination sucks. But like just giving you the reasons I don't usually cast domination is, I tried it. It was usually bad for me to do on my channel. Like people didn't like it. So I got downvotes and it was bad. They made me cry. They bullied me. No. Platypus is a good dude. I know he is a resident of my time zone as well, so he should be awake to do those tournaments if you want them. And I would for sure reach out. Jason who now? Jason Derulo. He was like a big deal 8 years ago. Always good for learning newer players. Replay bingo? Yeah. No, rip. Phoenix King, you don't like High Elves, Dark Elves? Why? I barely ever got to see this matchup, even in Warhammer 2, honestly, but it looked fun. I think it was Ice Power and Xiphos who played it. And there was like a Hargoneth Executioner versus a Swordmaster because they both told Turin afterwards, they were like, we don't really know how this matchup goes. It was a long time ago, though. Okay, for the Dark Elves, so far we have Malice, Sorcerer of Jeff, Canine Assassin, 2 Scourge Runners, 3 Repeater Crossbows, 2 Cold One Knights, Sunshine Harvesters, and then some basic Paltry Infantry. For the High Elves, Archmage of Light with Net in Verona's Time Warp. Looks like she's on her Dragon. Double Dragon Princes, double Silver Helm, 1 Illyrian Reaver, a fuck ton of Spears, and 3 Archers. Scourge Runners. What are Scourge Runners gonna do? Oh, look at us. We're on a chariot. We're Dark Elves. That's it. Yeah. Get wrecked by facts and logic, bro. No, actually... Now you've said that, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, wow, there's not a lot you could do versus Scourge Runners. Maybe Golden Floof can get him with a nice net combo, but aside from that, it does seem pretty brutal. Yeah. Malekith or New Malice. I wonder if Malekith would be better in this matchup, but I also feel like he'd be more snipeable by archers or bolt throwers or air cheese or something. I don't know. Malice is smaller, tankier. Angrier! At least it's not Marathi in every battle. Yeah, that's a healthy change. Now there's a lot of Dark Elf Lords that, in my opinion, probably need nerfs. Now this is always the thing, is like, the same as Poisonwind Globes, is like, Dark Elves don't need nerfs right now. I don't think so. I don't think they need nerfs. I do think their Lords are overtuned, and taken in a vacuum of just Lords, their Lords are too strong. But the rest of their roster has so many issues that they need their Lords to be powerful to carry them. But I think in an ideal world, Dark Elves would get some buffs in other areas, and then their Lords, like a couple of their Lords, would get a few tweaks downwards, because it can feel bad when like someone feels like they have a unit that just does more than all of yours. But yeah, overall, Dark Elves are fine right now. Like, their faction doesn't need a buff or nerf. Which is why I like what happened with Skaven. Poison Wind was stupid overpowered, but Skaven roster in general towards the end of Warhammer 2 was not doing so great without Poison Wind at all. So it was like, yeah, this one thing's overpowered, but please, for the love of God, if you're going to nerf it, buff other stuff. And I've really liked the Skaven changes coming into Warhammer 3. They buffed Slingers, they buffed Rat Ogres, they buffed Ikit Claw, the Lore of Ruin, and then they nerfed Poison Wind Globes. They nerfed Throt for some reason, which was stupid. They nerfed Skrulk, which was fine. He deserved it. Yeah. So I like the Skaven changes where it's like, yeah, if you take away the toxic bullshit thing nobody likes, just give us something that people do like. That's all. I just don't want my faction to be dog shit. How do the new Bleak Swords do versus Spearmen? They do fine. You got muted, Knighthood? I don't think you got muted. I saw New Malice is rough. I'll switch to live chat. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. Yeah, good luck, Ushkasm. Good luck, man. Still waiting for an all-cab double dragon. Is it Floof's 2-punch combo with the light dragon? Maybe. I mean, if he can net down those Scourge Runners or something, or net 2 of these Dark Riders with an Overcast, he could get some pretty big value there. That'd be huge. Wouldn't a healing change fix the Lords? Maybe, but doesn't Malice... Like, what healing change are you talking about from Malice? Because Malice turns into Zarkand as his main healing. Malekith almost always heal caps with Soul Stealer. Got an AP increase, if I remember correctly. Maybe stats, too. Slaanesh OP. Dating site for Offolds. They did not nerf Globes. Globes got buffed. I think they definitely nerfed Globes. Globes don't do nearly as much damage as they used to. Like, they do plenty, but not a million. Messages don't get through sometimes as well. Weird. It's marked red. Some misunderstanding of the no swearing engine or something. Oh, I have no idea, my friend. All right, we talked about the builds in the army builder phase, so now we're just into the game. but I will now focus. Scourge Run Chariot, it looks like Matt has put all of his skirmish corps on one flank to overwhelm them, but I talked about it in the build phase. I said one of the ways you could maybe deal with the Scourge Run Chariots would be what, ladies and gentlemen? It would be net them and then charge them. And how did you miss a netted target? How did you miss a netted target, you piece of garbage? You garbage person. No, this is actually a fine lord. I'm just laughing at her because she fucked up. Anyway, on the far side, some Dragon Princes and Silver Helms are charging into Dread Spears, where it looks like the Cold One Knights of Matt have been briefly forgotten as this skirmishing disaster is being fixed. Now, the Scourge Run Chariots are taking a lot of damage from this countercharge, but unfortunately, Soul Stealer from the Doomfire Warlocks plus 3 Repeater Crossbows are making the Silver Helms and Dragon Princes not have a good time either. Moralian Reavers are coming over to help out, but Cold One Knights are piling in, and what looked like a really good play from the High Elves is turning into an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster. The front line for the High Elves is currently going quite well, but how do these archers end up here from Floof? Floof? What's going on with the archers? Silver Helms are going to fight Cold One Knights soon. Dragon Princes should go out and around and then get a rear charge on them. That will be okay, but meanwhile over here, it looks like things have stabilized for the most part. Some Illyrian Reavers were chucked to the wolves, and these Silver Helms are getting routed off, but Dragon Princes will make it back to the formation. I just realized that this High Elf force has no healing for them. Ooh, that could be trouble. Silver Helms are cut out by... Oh, it's Silver Helms and Dragon Princes. I was like, that is a lot of cav. Anyway, they're getting caught up by the Golden Knights. It looks like we have a little bit of dropped micro coming in from Golden Floof, the High Elf player. The dot is worse than it used to be on globes. Yeah. Yeah. They took a nerf. Like, they aren't unusable by any means, but they did take a nerf. Alright, Dragon tries to get a breath attack onto the Death Lady. It looks like it didn't do that much damage to her. Maybe it hit a Bleak Sword and a little bit of the Spearman instead. And the Dragon now dives on top of her and misses its charge yet again. For no reason. High Elves are down on the damage value. Dark Elves are up. And Dark Elves are now sweeping in to take care of the archers. Malice is fighting one. Doomfire Warlocks thought about fighting another, but instead they're going to fight the juicy Spearman. Scourge Run Chariots have rallied in the back area. They are now just firing fire at will style into whatever, because they don't care about their lives anymore, I guess. And Cold One Knights were beaten back by the Silver Helms, but will it be too late for the High Elf Cavalry to arrive and save the day? Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows somehow ended up in melee and are taking a lot of damage. Probably shouldn't let that happen. And these archers are trading well into the other ones. High Elves scrapping back a little bit. Dark Elves feel like they got a little bit complacent with the situation. Lost about 2 Repeater Crossbows. They didn't have to. Meanwhile, Talons of Torquelada are still firing at the Doomfire Warlocks. Slaneshi's Harvester's ROR. And this Light Wizard just parks next to him like they're best friends. Oh, and they go in for the dive. Good damage, honestly, and getting covering fire from these archers, and getting a rear charge in from some very, very dead Illyrian Reavers. Means those Slaneshi's Harvesters just took a shit ton of damage, and balance power is back to about even. Damage value is getting there, too. Scourge Run Chariots have been remembered and brought back into the fold as Dragon Princes fight Cold One Knights. I don't know what is getting cast here, but... Ooh. Ow. A Fate of Buna onto a Dragon Prince. Yeah, that is doing some serious damage. Ouch. Ah. That stings. We do have some archers still alive, literally just ignoring Dread Spears because fuck them, I guess. As High Elf Spearmen try to peel them off, these archers are like, no, don't have the time, not gonna deal with it. Those Dragon Princes are shattered. Oof, that was a rough Fate of Buna. God damn. Killed a lot of stuff. Dark Elf's still staying about 1,000 ahead on the damage value, though I honestly would have thought it would be more. How are we doing out here? Some Dragon Princes have rallied. They can maybe chase something off or come over here and charge. We're trying to get rid of these Dread Spears before the archers rout. That's going to be a hard task to accomplish. Silver and Guard with Barona's Time Work giving him 55 melee stats, and they're killing this Canid Assassin. They're just doing alright. He only has 30 armor, so it won't be that tanky to them. That's a cute little play. I like that. But more archers are getting mucked up. It looks like all 3 of our archer friends are just about dead. And we do have some spearmen over here as well that can rally. I'm just not seeing a lot of carry potential left in the High Elves. Like, what's going to kill Malice? Fucking nothing, that's what. Another breath attack on the Sorceress of Death actually gets a good amount of damage under her, and I wouldn't be shocked if there was a follow-up just dive real quick, but ooh. An annoying Spirit Leech is going to start draining down the thing. No, get back there. There was a breath attack lining up. No, you! Also, I probably missed it. I'm sorry. Boom! There's the dragon attack we all wanted and missed 500 times. All the winding is crazy. They have a bunch of good matchups. Just cap the healing rate at like 2 BMs per second. Globes are literally two-shotting any infantry in the game now. Poison Wind was nerfed, but local gears are insanely OP right now because of the explosion damage. I don't think that's true. I think they're strong. I don't think they're like crazy OP or anything. If it's taking regeneration, then I'd agree. Dude, this is insane. I can't believe Skaven mates don't know globes are OP. All right, dude. All right. Okay. We heard you. I don't think they're that great. Skaven have lost plenty of games on this stream while using globes. The globes didn't even get great value, but all right. You were heard. We disagree. I think a nerf to globes would make a couple of Skaven matchups extremely hard. Malice will carry it. Yeah. I feel like Skaven motorbikes could use a buff. Compensate for all their healing. Yeah. Yeah. Dragonlord's trying to carry. She has pushed off the Deathcaster, and the Canny Assassin still chilling in some Spearmen. Now Malice is fighting the Silvern Guard. That could be something. Maybe. If they don't die. This bot speaks my language. No! I banned the bot. Bounce power still close to the middle, but Dark Elf favorite, I would agree. Damage value is also catching up, but like, look at this boy. Look at the boy! He's so healthy! Oh, he's on foot too. Okay, that actually makes this a lot more difficult for the Silvern Guard. Dark Elves are having a bit of a rally party on the far side. But it's mostly just Malice and one Dark Rider Peter Crossbows. Yeah. What can you do against Malice? Nothing. Surrender now, or face his torment. I think we have a breath attack coming. Oh, no, it's just a land. Ooh, nice splash damage on that land. That killed like 3 models. God damn. Bounce power doesn't account for a transformation. True. And he's still full health. Peter Crossbows are trying to get away from the light lady. Looks like they're getting orders to turn around and shoot, but when they're already in melee, they'll probably just go into foot. Globes nuke infantry, water is wet. More news at 11. Foot Malice is a menace? Yeah, all the benefits of a Foot Lord with none of the consequences. Swear to God if this is Charter. Hello? Okay. Righty. Light Dragon charges back onto a Canny Assassin, wiggles on him for a little bit. He is netted, wiggles on him for a little bit. He's still netted, by the way. Wiggles on him for a little bit. There's a hit. And he is going to route, plus these Cold Knights will terror route, and then probably naturally route. Peter Crossbows are shooting at the lady, who gets back into the air and flies away. What's the plan here? Globes are still OP. Rather buff everything else in the Skaven army and let globes be under 150% of their value on average, or take off their armor. We have seen multiple battles today where globes didn't pay for themselves, though. Like the Greenskins Skaven game that didn't these two just play? No, the Kislev Skaven game. Yeah, the last game before this one, 2 of the globes didn't even pay for themselves. I won't allow this revisionist history to occur. Now, those globes aren't bad. I'm just saying they're not OP. Globes are still pretty strong. All right. Dragons dodging some repeater crossbows. Things have gotten silly. But what? I mean, Malice killed a lot of spearmen since we checked in. A lot. Yeah. Oh, a net of Amatox cast onto them. Okay. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna net Malice for, honestly. He ain't running from you. Isolated cases. We've seen multiple times this stream where the globes didn't pay for themselves, though. There was one at Altdorf Outskirts. It was Shogunek versus Zep? Yeah. Shogunek versus Zep, where the globes didn't get their value. And the Dark Elves only lost that game because they forgot 2 Scourge Runner Chariots back in the woods, and they remembered them in the late game, but that's 2,000 gold you're down the whole time. Actually, the dragon killed those spearmen? Oh, yeah, that would be bad. I wish I was a Globadier. You can be, for the price of $9.99 a minute. Okay. Floof, buddy, you haven't even popped Tzarkin. Why are we still here? Don't we all know this is over? Demon's Curse is popped. Verona's Time Warp is also onto the Archmage of Light, but Mouse is going to hit her once. He's going to hit her twice, and then Army Losses is going to kick in as soon as she routes. Well, she does get away. We've almost popped Tzarkin. Fuck YouTube, they're a glass cannon unit, not actually a glass cannon. Let my messages get through. Eh. They are pretty good. She's back. She still has Verona's Time Warp. She gets a quick bite, and she's probably going to start to run away. There's Tzarkin. Balance of Power goes into Army Losses territory, and he kills a bunch of Spearmen with an ability, and give me the Army Loss bar, please. Do it. Do it, you coward. She's trying to fly back in and get some damage value before the game literally ends, but it is too late. Malice OP. Malice disgustingly overtuned. Disgusting. Nah, he was fine. That first engagement where you netted down the Scourge Runners and then ran in, but there was actually a bunch of repeater crossbows that just killed other guys. That was pretty tragic. And the fact that a full-on Dragon Prince and Silverhelm charge into netted chariots did like 0 damage was also a pretty sad state of high elf affairs. Why don't Dragon Princes have armor piercing, for the love of God? Anyway. Archmage of Life, 1600 value. Dragon Princes neither paid for themselves. Silverhelms didn't either. Lyran Reavers got close. Silver and Guard did great. Spearmen did their job. Archers did well. The other side, Malice did fine. Caster did fine. Caney Assassin did fine. Doomfire Warlocks did okay, considering I think they cost 1400, so doing 1400 is fine. Golden Knights overall did fine. Scourge Runners did alright. Repeater Crossbows did alright. Basically everything on this roster did alright except for Malice. You draw kite at one time in your life, it was versus Malice recently? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Alright, we did it. We frickin' did it. We got through all the build lobby people. That's about a 3-hour stream. I'll be streaming again later with the replay bingo stuff, but for now I'm going to take a break and get ready for dinner and Grace coming home and etc. But we'll be streaming again in 3.5 hours. So if you want to watch some funny replays of some silly units, you know where to find us. Okay? All right. Okay. Dragon Prince's AP? Okay, get us that and we'll agree that globes are not OP and you're not orcs. No thanks. Not sure I should have demon transformed earlier. Was holding it for late game win con. Yeah, you probably should have held it. Probably. +4 AP, -4 base. Not full on AP, but change your ratio. Poor high elf lads can't make any armor piercing spears. Thanks for the stream. See you next time. See you around. See you around. Dragon Princes, what even is their armor piercing? 13 out of 44. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. That is terrible. It's about the same ratio as Knights of the Realm. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye.